You're with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. It is back to Portman Road for our main feature. Few Premier League games have as much on them as Ipswich Town versus Wolves this afternoon. Ready for kick-off, our former Town captain Mick Mills and your commentator Brenna Woolley.
Yeah, it's very rare that pretty much the whole of Town's fan base would disagree with Kieran McKenna over anything. But when he was asked after Wednesday's terrific win at Bournemouth if today's the biggest game of the season to date, he talked it down. Well, supporters feel very differently. There's a phenomenal atmosphere inside Portman Road as 18th hosts 17th in this relegation shootout. Wolves in the final safety spot arrived with a 9-point lead over Ipswich, meaning the gap could potentially be as big as 12 points come the close of play, or as we're hoping it'll be, Town could chop it down to just 6 with 7 games still to play. So can the Blues get back-to-back Premier League victories for the first time this season while winning here for the first time since December? Play like they did in midweek, and there's certainly a chance because there was so much in that performance to be happy about. And Mick, there's no getting away from this. This is a big game, isn't it?
Well, it's absolutely massive. It really is. I mean, I think that the bottom two probably have gone. They're in such poor form. Southampton have had an awful time. Leicester just cannot get a win, and I just think they're going to go the other places between these two teams, and both teams will know it, and they will know exactly what this result means to each and every one. So both sets of players they've set themselves up. Their previous result has set themselves up for as good a performance today as they possibly can. They don't have to look back, they can look forward. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a nervous game. It's going to be a question of who's mentally the toughest, not just physically the toughest or athletically the best. It's very much to do with the mental side of the game today, and whichever one applies himself the best will come out with the result they want. Obviously, because Wolves are in front of Town, Wolves' 2 results are good for Wolves. Only 1 result is good for Ipswich, and that is a win for Ipswich, a draw or a win for Wolverhampton. So it's going to be tough, it really is. It will be down to how they handle the atmosphere and the situation.
It is a sizzling atmosphere, a smoky atmosphere now the pyrotechnics have gone off. There's a mixture of focus on the faces of the Ipswich Town players, and also fairly relaxed as well, chewing gum. So a smile from Alex Palmer as he came out behind Sam Morsey. Liam Delap, a little chat with one of the mascots as well, and a grin on his face as well. When the Ipswich Town take off their tracksuit tops, they will be wearing their blue shirts with a white pinstripe, white shorts and blue socks, up against the largely old gold kit of Wolves with the odd flash of black as the 2 sets of players cross halfway and shake hands ahead of this huge game. A real relegation 6-pointer in the lower reaches of the Premier League. Every kick on BBC Radio Suffolk. Just 8 games to go, 4 home, 4 away. We really are at the last knockings of this Premier League season. Can Ipswich Town somehow find a way to claw their heads above water and remain at this level for next season? All will be revealed over the course of those next 90 minutes. Well, the Ipswich Town team, stand by your beds. No changes. Town unchanged for the first time this season. So it's the same 11 that did terrifically well down on the South Coast on Wednesday night. Much needed 4th win of the season, that at Bournemouth. Palmer once again in goal. The back four, Twanzebe, O'Shea, Burgess and Townsend keeps his place, even though Davis is on the bench. Morsey, the captain, alongside Kiyuste in midfield. Then there's Johnson and Ciso and Broadhead stretched across the park up top, with Delap the focal point of the attack. That was goal 11 of the season for him when he nearly took the net away a few nights ago. On the bench alongside Davis are Walton, Taylor, Hurst, Clark, Philogene, Phillips, Chaplin and Wolfenden. Greaves drops out from the 20 on duty at the Vitality Stadium for Davis's return. Still no Amari Hutchinson, sadly. Fingers crossed for Chelsea a week tomorrow. No changes for Wolves either. They played 24 hours earlier than Ipswich in midweek. They beat West Ham 1-0 on Tuesday. Sarr is their keeper. They've got a back 3 of Doherty, Agbadou and Gomez. The wide players are Sameda, the captain, and 8 Nouri. In between the 2 midfielders, the Brazilians Andre and Gomez. Then it's Munetsi and Bellegarde play in and around Strand Larsen, the number 9. The Norwegian has scored 3 in his last 2. He's kind of carried on the mantle of the missing Mateus Cunha, who serves the 4th and final game of the Brazilians' latest ban. On the bench, Bentley, Hwang, Bueno, Gomez, Doyle, Sarabia, Forbes, Guedes and Jigger. What do you make of an unchanged lineup for once for Ipswich, Mick?
Well, it's a bit of a surprise to me. It really is, you know, that it's gone against everything that the manager normally does. So the only thing I can sort of imagine is that the quality of the result has registered with the manager, and he just feels that maybe if he gives a vote of confidence to every one of them that started the game down at Bournemouth, it just might give them a big lift. There must have been 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 in that starting 11 at Bournemouth. Possibly would have thought they might be stepping out of this one. But he's given a vote of confidence. He says, no, you can go again. You can go into what possibly is the biggest game of the season. And it will give them a lift, there's no question about it.
The referee is Peter Banks. On VAR this afternoon, Andy Madley. 4th official, Sam Barrett. He's in that black, Mr. Banks, and Ipswich Town, as they prefer to do, defending the Sir Bobby Robson stand in this first half. So if you're not too aware of the geography of Portman Road as we sit here on the halfway line, Ipswich Town will be playing from left to right, as I say, in their blue, white blue, as the players take the knee ahead of this 3 o'clock kick-off. Every kick-off this game live on BBC Radio Suffolk. The first one is from Nathan Broadhead. He goes back to Dara O'Shea, 2 of the stars of Wednesday night for Ipswich Town, and the ball's headed out of play in the right back area by the Wolves centre-half, the experienced Irishman Doherty. It's his own goal at Molineux in December that set Ipswich Town on their way to that victory. Incidentally, Jack Taylor scored the winner in the last 2 meetings between these 2 sides. He's on the bench this afternoon because, of course, Wolves were here in the Carabao Cup last season when Town beat them. Kayuste with an early looping throw into the Wolves area inside the first minute, cleared away right-footed towards Axel Twanzebe. It was Munetsi who got the ball away, one of the forward players back helping out. Johnson infield to Morsey. He'll poke it to O'Shea into midfield, and Ciso back to Kayuste, who got Premier League goal of the month for March. It's a nice personal accolade for Jens Kayuste for his strike last time out here. It seems so long ago, that Nottingham Forest game, 3 weeks ago. Fine finish from the Swede. Twanzebe down the line to Broadhead, momentarily down the right underneath us. The ball comes off Nuri, who's making his 150th appearance for Wolves. He was sent off at the end of that game at Molineux and tempers flared. He's a good player, Nuri, as Twanzebe plays the ball off Munetsi. Quite a big, strong-looking side, Wolves, aren't they? We noticed that in the warm-up, Mick.
Yeah, very much so. They've got 1 or 2 guys who are absolutely massive, you know, so it will give them a good presence in both penalty areas.
Here is O'Shea, who's a good presence in the Ipswich Town penalty area. Still to get off the mark, though, in terms of goals for the season. Got some last year in the Premier League for Burnley. Very strong in the air and on the deck. He's had a very good first season at this club, Dara O'Shea, for me. Here is Enciso, had a big hand in Nathan Broadhead's goal the other night. Terrific run from the Paraguayan. Burgess, he started 3 of Town's 4 victories this season, Cameron Burgess. As Ipswich try to get it going far side, and Ciso and Townsend not quite able to do it. Wolves give the ball away, and Ciso going past a couple of players. Lovely run again from him. Delap, good play inside the area. Johnson right of centre into the middle. It comes off the first defender, loops up in the air. Broadhead was looking for it, but nodded off the edge of his area or 6-yard box by Gomez. Morsey crosses into the Wolves box, and Ciso battling. Should be cleared away by Munetsi, the Zimbabwean, on arrival in the January window at Molineux. Bright start from Town. They've had most of the ball inside the Wolves half in this first 2.5 minutes. Beautiful sunny spring afternoon at Portman Road. A number of fans need sunglasses in the cobbled stand directly opposite us. Just moving the ball from shade to sunshine. Twanzebe finds Morsey, and Ciso plays the ball off Munetsi. Munetsi goes shoulder to shoulder with Kayuste. Well done, Kayuste. Good strength. Townsend down the line. Ipswich Town started very brightly. Delap inside the area, overlapping Townsend, clips it into the middle. Maybe a chance for Johnson. Might come as far as Twanzebe. In goes the toe end of Bellegarde, and out goes the ball, and Town have started very well.
Well, this has been a marvellous start, it really has, and when we went down to Bournemouth on Wednesday, Bournemouth tried to start this way, almost as if they wanted desperately to get off to a good start and sort of for that to pave the way for the whole evening, and Town have done exactly the same here. This is a great start.
Kiyuste with the ball up his jumper, just drying it off as he comes forward and throws it into the Wolves area. Town have started brightly. The header on from Broadhead, well watched by Manetzi, cleared away not for the first time by the striker. Oh, Twanzebe, mistake, he's been caught out. Wolves flying forward down the left hand side is Bellegarde. Wolves' first attack, it's been all Ipswich Town to this point. Wolves have got the air ball on the edge of the Ipswich area. Back comes Johnson, good work from Johnson to dig Twanzebe out of a hole. Johnson with a strong run, but then it just went away from him, and it was Andre who eventually gets it back to Agbadou. Now on this near side, Andre again, crossing halfway, tucks it infield to Bellegarde with a lovely turn of pace after being given the ball from the Twanzebe mistake. Wolves finally were able to play a few passes amongst each other inside their half of the field as Broadhead closes down near side. But it did not work on this right-hand side for the moment, it's been noticeable. Wolves have the ball with Manetzi, the number 5. Here is Bellegarde. Andre gives it back to Bellegarde on this left-hand side. Portman Road has a fine voice. Everybody here knows the enormity of this game, whichever club they're supporting. It's another full house this Saturday afternoon. It's at the back with João Gomez of Wolves. Gives it to the left-hand side and Totti Gomez. Down the line, Aït-Nouri. Wolves have it on the halfway line with João Gomez getting away from Morsey, leaving him in his wake. Good strong running from the Brazilian, excellent up to the edge of the area, to the left hand side. Aït-Nouri goes square, edge of the box, chance for Bellegarde, he shoots over the bar, left footed from 18 yards. Sat Morsey down, tried to pick his spot, but thankfully off target.
Well, it's a marvellous response by Wolverhampton, it really was. I mean, Gomez has literally sort of just run around Sam Morsey and then left him in his wake by about 2 or 3 yards, and then he's set up that opportunity there. Just very interesting. I think that Town are playing with 3 at the back and 2 wing backs, trying desperately to match Wolverhampton. That's the way they play, and then there's a 2v2 in the centre of midfield. It just depends exactly where the two dealt for one. Manetzi and Bellegarde, I don't think are definite touchline players. They sort of try and play 10 or 12 yards off the touchline, which matches Broadhead and Enciso. So it's almost as if we've gone like for like at the moment anyway.
Definitely Broadhead is playing to the right of Enciso. Both of them obviously in behind Delap. Ball given away by Totti Gomez. Johnson's onto it. Oh, Aït-Nouri blocked him off though. But the loose ball runs to Morsey. 0-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk Sports. 6.5 minutes gone in our latest full match commentary. Mick will be alongside me at Stamford Bridge next Sunday at 2 o'clock for that game. Chelsea in European action next Thursday. That's why that game is bumped over 23 hours. Here is Axel Twanzebe. It was a rare mistake from him a few moments ago, that he's back and available. And he's been in the side this season. Town have looked a lot more solid, and I like this partnership with Johnson playing underneath us in this first half. The ball's up to Delap, lays it back to Kiyuste, certainly in good form. Kieran McKenna talking a bit about Jens Kiyuste in his pre-match press conference yesterday, saying how much he's come on. Obviously understands the physical nature of the English Premier League. There is Cameron Burgess, finds Connor Townsend making himself available. Has a little nudge in the back from Semedo, the Wolves captain, former Barcelona player. Then it's played forward to Doherty. Doherty back to the man in all pink, Sarr, the Portuguese goalkeeper, very experienced one at that. Out to his left-hand side fends his fellow countryman Totti Gomez. Aït-Nouri, little touch ball down the line. Totti Gomez has carried on his run, comes in field, he's done very well, the big man. Into the centre comes Aït-Nouri, across the decks. Good game of football between these two sides. Here is João Gomez. Aït-Nouri is occupying still a midfield position at the moment, the left wing back. João Gomez once again, the number 8. Holds on to the ball, gives it to his compatriot Andre. Both of them reached 10 yellow cards in the week against West Ham, but sadly for Town, one of them was in a cup competition, so they're both eligible obviously to play in this match. Johnson the challenge. The ball's out of play, incidentally. Vitor Pereira, 600th game as a manager this afternoon, but he's got a touchline ban for a yellow card, him and his assistant, against West Ham in the week. So it's the Wolves number 3 in charge next to Kieran McKenna down below us. Strand Larsen finds a gap for a layoff on halfway. Morsey brings down Andre. I'd be amazed if neither Andre nor Gomez nor Morsey gets a yellow card in the centre of the field this afternoon.
That's a tough position for Morsey and Kajust in there. Those two Brazilians, Gomez and Andre, are very, very good, especially Gomez. I mean, we've already seen what he can do. They're very, very capable.
Between the three of them, Morsey and those two, 28 yellow cards this season, as the TV cameras have just picked up on the fact that Vitor Pereira is sitting up somewhere near us, watching this game from a perch position. Goalless on BBC Radio Suffolk. Nouri with a throw, and Minet's under pressure from O'Shea, can't do anything with it. João Gomez is back on the ball, gives it to Agbadou. What a signing he's been, the Ivorian, in the January window. Agbadou creates a very good impression at the back, plays in the middle of the 3, big strong boy. Here he is once again, the number 12, trying to pass the ball up to Minetzi. They played together for the last few seasons at the same club in France, that pair. Minetzi's layoff looking for Semedo wasn't good enough.
Yeah, this is a good side, Wolves. They've got a lovely balance to them. I like the back 3. They all seem to complement each other nicely, and the two wing backs can do the job that they're asked to, basically play the whole length of the pitch. So the back 5 is really, really good.
First league meeting here in the top flight between these two since 1983. It's been a fair old while. Here come Wolves. Strand Larsen inside the Ipswich area with a chance! Saved on the near post by Palmer. That was the first sight of goal for either team. Thankfully, off to our left-hand side, it's ended up in no more than a corner kick to Wolves.
Well, we had a fabulous start for 2 or 3 minutes, and then Wolves have sort of responded in the way you tend to expect. You think, well, that's a good side that can do that, and for a team that's 4th from bottom to respond in this way is amazing.
Yeah, they're a good team, I think, in the current form table over the last 15 games, maybe. I don't think they're anywhere near the bottom 4. He's got them going, Vitor Pereira, and we're seeing signs of that at the moment. Corner kick to Wolves, first of the game, 8, and it comes from 8. Nouri to the far stick, headed down, it bounces up, tipped over the bar by Palmer, had to deal with it. It was a header from Gomez, Totti Gomez.
Well, that was a chance. That ball just sort of just about evaded the big rucker players that were just in central sort of positions just opposite the goalkeeper, and it just found the loose player that Wolverhampton wanted to find, and that was Totti. He actually should have scored.
Yeah, he should have done. A couple of saves from Alex Palmer in the last minute or so. It's a second Wolves corner kick. Semedo just swing it in off to our left-hand side. Still 0-0 in the 12th minute at Portman Road. Semedo into the middle, nodded down, maybe a chance. The effort is from João Gomez. It comes off Broadhead shins and out behind for another corner kick, and that was travelling. Had Broadhead not been in the way, that was going to trouble Palmer.
Yeah, very much so. This is the corner kicks people take. You have a massive ruck of players that are in close to the goalkeeper, but the other important position is the fringe. Wolves dominated the fringe there, and Gomez had a free shot.
Third corner kick to Wolves in quick succession. It's 8 Nouri at 0-0. Deep one again to the far stick, headed by Andre into the side netting.
That's a poor header by Andre, it really is. That's again, they've got the big ruck of players between the posts. It evades all of those, and there's just one loose Wolverhampton player that lurks at the back of the 6-yard box. The first corner, it was an attempt on goal which should have actually hit the target, possibly gone in. That one was awful. I mean, didn't do anything. It should have been headed back into the danger zone.
Meetings do tend to be tight between these two sides. The last 9 league meetings, in fact, have either just been 1-goal wins or draws between the two. And it was 2-1 in December at Molineux after Cunha had cancelled out Doherty's own goal. Jack Taylor, of course, with that late-headed winner for Ipswich Town. I think it's 5 draws in the last 8 between these two teams. Expecting this afternoon to be fairly tight. It's been a good game so far. Kiyuste, an excellent switch of play. Lovely ball from the Swede. Inch perfect for Johnson. Johnson with a chance to cross from by the tunnel. It loops off the Wolves defender 8 Nouri. Might well go up for a corner kick. Does indeed. Town's first corner is coming with 13 on the clock.
Yeah, that's good, because we've had our moment of pressure at the other end now. This always helps you out. Just get your next attack going and win something from it. And we've won a corner kick, so we now can put the bodies into the Wolverhampton box just to test them out.
Connor Townsend with Ipswich Town's first corner kick, 14 minutes gone in this huge game at the bottom of the Premier League table. Can Ipswich Town strike first? They're still goalless on BBC Radio Suffolk. Let's see what Townsend's delivery is like off to our right. It looks very good to the far stick. Challenging for the ball was Kayuste, but it came off his marker. And it's now Ipswich Town's turn to have a fairly quick second corner kick.
That was a really good corner kick. It was flatter, not so much height on it, but it had loads and loads of pace. It seemed to get from the corner kick taker to the back post very quick. It's very good, that, because the defensive players can't really adjust to it, and that was a dangerous one.
Connor Townsend underneath the giant screen over on the far right corner next to the cobbled stand and Ralph Ramsey with this corner kick for Ipswich Town. Wolves have everybody back, and it comes low to the near post, headed away by Aitnori out as far as Morsey, who started his career at Molineux. He gives it to Townsend. Townsend rolls it back to Morsey once again. Morsey plays it into the Wolves area beyond the far post, headed away by Manetzi, brought down there in the right wing area by O'Shea. He gives it to Johnson. Heard from him on match night after the game on Wednesday night, Ben Johnson. Now O'Shea up against Manetzi. Infield to Enciso, who's dropped off to try and get involved. He hits a crossfield ball, controlled by the left instep of Townsend in front of the Wolves fans. Once again, he finds the captain, Morsey, infield to Enciso. Enciso trying to get the better of Bellegarde, which he's managed to do. Prods it through a gap, gets it to Kayuste. Kayuste gives it back to Enciso. Lovely play between the two lone players. Maybe a chance for Townsend to hammer it into the middle. It's come off Wolves defenders for a throw.
Amazing game. Little pockets of play by both sides. Lots of corners being won. This is a throw-in for Town, but this is an opportunity, because Kayuste, he can throw the ball into the danger area, and anything can happen from there.
He's playing well as well at the moment, really coming into a good period of form, Jens Kayuste. Here is Kayuste with his latest throw into the Wolves area, goalless. It's gone over the top of Delap, and then it's cleared away by Ipswich Town as far as Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe looks up, knocks the ball into the Wolves penalty area towards O'Shea. O'Shea centrally, surely a goal! It's in! And it's Liam Delap yet again! He nipped in behind the Wolves defence and prodded it into the net. 16 minutes gone at Portman Road in this huge relegation battle, and it's first blood Ipswich Town. Town 1, Wolves 0.
It's a good goal. I'm not quite sure what the Wolves players are complaining about, but it's a great ball in. O'Shea wins it lovely, and the Predator knows what he's got to do, doesn't he? He goes in where he can get the most benefit from the headed ball. He's in there in the back of the net. That was really necessary for Town, because, you know, this was a fluctuating game. It was end to end. It was Ipswich's time, Wolves' time, Ipswich, Wolves, and the team that scores first is going to get a massive lift, and that's Town.
Well, he'd gone 5 without a goal until the other night, got the winner at Bournemouth, and he's got the first goal here this afternoon. 12 is a terrific number for any young player in their debut season in the Premier League, but as a young player at a team which has obviously struggled from the word go. Now we're just waiting before restarting, as VAR, of course, having a little look at this, checking for a possible offside. So we're all waiting impatiently. Interesting, Kieran McKenna talking about VAR yesterday, talking about the time it takes. Let's have a look. That's why the Wolves players went straight to the referee, who at the moment is still fielding questions from Nelson Semedo and Andre. Just having a little look at it as the header comes in from O'Shea. From this angle, it looks onside, but it's okay. Not conclusive. This angle isn't really
I think there's more likely to have been a foul by O'Shea. He's climbed right on the top of the defender, but they're not checking that.
No,
they're checking the offside, which doesn't look offside.
No, certainly doesn't from this angle. Andy Madley is on VAR. He's zooming in, checking it from... Well, he must be looking at different angles. We're only seeing the same one, which is very difficult to tell, but certainly not a foul. So we all wait. Kieran standing down below us speaking to the fourth official. So we're waiting for another almighty cheer or lots of moans and groans amongst the majority. Peter Banks obviously at the moment is just waiting, and he points to the centre spot. Town lead 1-0. And he enhances his reputation even further. Liam Delap. Surely he'll be playing in the Premier League next season. Let's hope it's here for Ipswich Town. They lead Wolves 1-0. As O'Shea, it's then Burgess wins a good header. Broadhead gets on the ball, gives it back to Axel Twanzebe. Now Johnson being pressed by Aït-Nouri, clears the ball down the line towards Delap. Nice touch from him, tried to knock it on beyond Agbadou. He certainly fancied that sprint, but didn't make the right contact, sadly.
Brilliant ball out of defence by Ben Johnson, and Liam Delap normally takes control of them and just keeps the ball. But it was a good bit of defensive work by Ben Johnson without question.
Aït-Nouri with this throw onto the chest of Strand Larsen, on loan at Wolves from Celta Vigo this season, the Norwegian, with a view to a permanent deal. He's done pretty well as well for them, it has to be said. Semedo puts the ball in behind the Town defence. Manetzi tries to get the first time cross into the Ipswich box from wide right outside of it. It's come off Burgess, and it's another corner kick to Wolves, their fourth inside this first 20 minutes. Town lead 1-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk.
And the suggestion is it's going to be a high scorer, because both teams are really going for it. They really are.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if it finishes 1-0. We'd love it to, but I'd be surprised. It's been a good game as well. No sign of nerves or the fear of losing. Both teams are wanting to win this one. Aït-Nouri, and it comes, great corner. It's off the line somehow or other. That looked miraculous that it didn't go into the back of the net. Town have somehow got it out behind. It's a corner kick.
It was a wonderful corner kick, swinging in right into the goals, and it just needs a little touch. It was
O'Shea,
24 Totti, who couldn't get a touch. If he had got a touch, it goes in, because he's only about half a yard from the goal line. But O'Shea was the one that manages to get the touch.
It's unbelievable from O'Shea when you look back at it. Great bit of improvisation. Bellegarde with a corner kick to the far post. Great stretch of the arms and catch there from Alex Palmer. Very impressive, very dependable and solid, and that calms things down nicely.
Well, not surprised that he sort of expected that to go to the back post, because every corner so far has been hit right to the very, very back part of the goals.
Good play from Townsend, motoring from defence, finds Enciso, held up, and then he loses the ball by Andre. Andre gives it to João Gomez. There is Semedo down the line, nice play from Wolves. They've got out a tight little area. João Gomez with a switcher play over the top of Johnson's head, headed on by Aït-Nouri. Will do well to keep it in play. Can't, but then Johnson helps it on its way for a throw to Wolves outside the Ipswich Town penalty area. Here's the Algerian Aït-Nouri getting ready with this throw, but he can't take it because there's a second ball on the field that he wants Ben Johnson to do the honours and deal with, which he has done, given it to one of the subs, Connor Chaplin, on this near side. Good to see Chaplin back involved in the matchday squad in these last two. Aït-Nouri brought down by Johnson. Free kick to Wolves in a good position, wide on the left-hand side. Chance to test that Town back line from a set piece once again.
Yeah, it was definite free kick in the end, but Aït-Nouri sort of he waited a couple of seconds before he decided to go down, and sometimes you don't get the free kick if you're going to mess around like that. But he's got a free kick right on the touchline, maybe 12 yards back from the byline.
Wolves down their left wing, attacking the goal off to our left-hand side. Trail Ipswich Town 1-0. But they have a corner kick, the team from the West. They have a free kick, should I say, the team from the West Midlands. The referee seems happy enough looking at matters and dealing with matters off to our left-hand side. Wolves free kick down their left-hand side. Bellegarde knocks it into the near post area, all the way into the side netting. In fact, without the intervention of Totti, who was the closest to the ball, goal kick Alex Palmer, 1-0 Ipswich.
Yeah, unlike their corner kicks with that free kick, they've gone for a near post one, but it's really curling into a very difficult position for the player that made the run to the near post to actually sort of hook it back and keep it in play. It was almost impossible, so really not worth even trying that type of free kick.
Palmer clears the ball up to the halfway line. Delap, the goal scorer, rises, beaten by Semedo, a bit of a tangle of arms afterwards, but they've now parted. On the chest of Totti, just south of the centre circle. He started the cup game here last season, Totti, one of the few. Bellegarde down the line to Ait-Nouri after he'd put Tuanzebe on his backside. Ait-Nouri's flag for an offside. Free kick to Ipswich in the right back berth.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game for the 4 wing backs today. I think that Semedo and Ait-Nouri they know the position really well, and R2 are sort of trying to adapt to the position, Townsend and Ben Johnson. So they're probably, you could regard them as a little bit of 2 rookies, but it's going to be an interesting battle all the same.
24 minutes played. Mick Mills with me on BBC Radio Suffolk. And he will be again next Sunday at Stamford Bridge. We always enjoy that trip to West London. Town trying to complete what we are hoping by that stage will be their second double of the season. Wolves and Chelsea, 2 teams that have beaten the first half. There's a loose hand from Tuanzebe. He's caught Strand Larsen. Totally accidental. There's no need for Strand Larsen to have gone down and stayed down. Now he's been picked up by Tuanzebe. Referee's just checking it was all right, Strand Larsen, I think. Play will continue with Ait-Nouri throwing on this near side. Town targeting their 5th win from 31 games this season. Of course, first back-to-back victories as well in the Premier League. And so far so good anyway. They lead Wolves 1-0 with 25 minutes gone, pretty much exactly. Ait-Nouri with his pink boots on, throws the ball to Strand Larsen, being held up by Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe gets some help from Ben Johnson. Bellegarde's down off the ball next to Morsey. Nothing doing in that situation though. Now in the centre of the park, it's Jens Kajuste. It's a lovely ball from him in the week that led ultimately to the Delap winning goal. And Ciso goes to Burgess via Townsend. Now the Australian centre-half goes square to O'Shea. They are a good pair, those two. Kind of had a few combinations at centre-half this season. Ball headed out by Townsend. Through to Wolves, but a relative lull in this game at the moment. Wolves have it with Totti. The square pass rather bent back and took him back into the left back area. Totti goes long, trying to mix it up. Ait-Nouri trying to get away from Johnson. That's a good sprint. O'Shea comes across and covers and just hooks the ball into touch down below us.
Yeah, it was a very good sprint by Ait-Nouri, seeing as Ben Johnson was holding his hand.
It's Ait-Nouri now holding the ball next to Calvin Phillips with his grey bib on. Town unchanged incidentally, if you weren't with us, ahead of kick-off for the first time this season as well. There is Ait-Nouri's old gold shirt flapping slightly in the breeze. Munetsi goes to ground. Ait-Nouri still gets the ball back though. He'll play it to Agbadou. Agbadou to Doherty on the halfway line. Now on this left-hand side it's with Totti. Totti looks up the number 24, look in front of Strand Larsen and behind. Town defend it well. Goes all the way through to Palmer. Both O'Shea and Burgess doing well against Munetsi and Strand Larsen, just keeping them at arm's length.
Yeah, they did well as a pair there. The ball was going to beat one, but the other one made sure that he was going to cover in nicely and pick up the pieces. That's good centre-half play.
Palmer out to O'Shea. Of course, those two and Townsend all played together at West Brom, so there is some sort of knowledge of each other's game and understanding between three of that defensive unit of Ipswich Town. Here is Palmer once again talking to O'Shea. He bowls it out to the Irishman. Still inside the Ipswich Town area, off to our left. 27 minutes played on BBC Radio Suffolk. This man, Liam Delap's goal, the only one so far. He takes a tumble over the top of Doherty, who's been penalised. And Liam Delap has stayed down, face on the turf. But I think he's going to be okay. Just having a little breather. Town players checking the eyes, okay. Back up on his feet, holding the base of his back, but he's going to be fine. Yeah, his goal after 16 minutes of this match, still the only one that we've seen so far. Hasn't been a great deal in terms of goal mouth action beyond that.
As a defender, I don't agree with that. I think why should a forward use my back to get up as high as he can? Just ease out of the way. But Doherty did it a little bit too late, really. That's why the referees punished him. But it really assists the attacker.
A little shove on Agbadou there as the players lined up. Townsend with this free kick into the Wolves area. It comes to the right-hand side, headed down by O'Shea. Pills round, ball back to O'Shea. He lashed at it, and it's gone straight out the far side for a throw to Wolves underneath their supporters.
Yeah, you just feel that the set plays are going to have sort of something to sort of say in this match, really, because both teams are pretty good at attacking the boxes either end, really. And Wolves have shown us what they can do. We've already scored a goal from a throw-in and looked dangerous on corners. Really, you could say...
Poor clearance by Wolves to Morsey. Morsey has it go. It's on target, but it's padded down on his right post by Sarr. It was interesting, just whilst Mick was talking earlier, and Cissé was waving his arms around, trying to lift the crowd's spirits and get them a bit more vocal than maybe they'd been. Bellegarde goes back to Totti. Totti springs the ball to halfway underneath us. One in the air by Tuanzebe. And it goes at left back for a Wolves throw-in. Again, it can't be taken immediately because there's a second ball on the field. That keeps happening on this near side. It's an issue, I guess, with the multi-ball system. Approaching the final quarter of an hour of this first half as Jayden Philogene and Calvin Phillips jog back towards the home bench down below us, next to Kieran McKenna. Norrie is waiting. Delap's talking to Totti about something. Now Agbadou having a word with him. He's in between the two big centre-halves. Loose little touch from Andre. A little bit of showboating attempted from Johnson, which didn't work out. Wolves get it back with Norrie. Charged down by Broadhead. Kieran McKenna applauds. Throw in. Deserved to keep his place. I know they all did, but Broadhead took his goal well the other night, and he said when he's been involved this season, he's been all right, hasn't he, Mick?
Yeah, he's been decent. I mean, he's always been one of those players. Everybody sort of basically likes him, but he might just underachieve at times, and that's always made his position a little bit not certain. But when he's come in this year, I think he's done really well.
There's no doubting he's a talented player. Here is at Bellegarde, looking forward to Menetzi's run. Maybe the faintest of flicks off the top of O'Shea's head has taken it back nicely to Alex Palmer. 1-0 Ipswich Town lead Wolves on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport, as Palmer has the ball inside his 6-yard area. Right-footed, he clears over halfway, headed on by Johnson. Broadhead's going after it. Agbadou rises, heads the ball down onto the grass, and then it's scooped forward by Totti. Well won by O'Shea in the air, continuing to do well at centre-half. Kayuste lobs it up to the halfway line. Morsey goes down. He's tripped by Bellegarde. The referee was no more than a couple of yards away. Free kick taken quickly by Ipswich Town. The referee's happy, and Cissé runs into João Gomez. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, says the referee. In a good position. Wolves now sprinting forward with Doherty out to the right-hand side. João Gomez. The ball's won back by Cissé, who again tries to lift the crowd. He's right up for this one, the Paraguayan.
Well, I agree the referee was in a good position for that decision, but he got it wrong for me. I think it was a foul by Gomez.
Throw to Wolves. And again, the second ball is on the field yet again.
Where are the ball boys today?
I know. Here comes Semedo. Getting ready to take this throw. It's been Wolves 4 years now, Nelson Semedo, for Benfica as well as Barcelona in the past. Good player. Tends to play right back or right wing back as he is this afternoon. Totti into midfield and Bellegarde. Wolves have it with the number 27, holds off Tuanzebe and just flicks it away from Broadhead back to Totti. Andre on halfway. Infield Agbadou tidies up back to Sarr. Sarr knocks it over the halfway line. Burgess beaten by Strand Larsen. Referee's unhappy. Strand Larsen shows signs of frustration. He felt he took a smack in the back of his head. It's a free kick to Ipswich Town. The referee wants a word, possibly with Strand Larsen, for his reaction to this decision. Didn't take it particularly well, it has to be said. So good long talking to. Earlier on today in the Premier League, the lunchtime kick-off, Everton did Liverpool a big favour. They drew 1-1 with Arsenal. Liverpool beat Fulham tomorrow. They go 14 points clear. Premier League title was certainly going to Anfield, isn't it? Here is O'Shea on this right-hand side. Twanzebe. Poor ball for Broadhead. Broadhead's made something of it, though. Full credit to the Welshman, but then it just goes out of play right next to the referee's assistant. Throw in. Kieran McKenna disagrees, but from this angle it looked like he got it right. He's getting a fair bit of stick as the man with the flag down below us. Aït-Nouri throws the ball towards Munetsi. Now Bellegarde battling with Johnson. Bellegarde takes a dive. The referee's having none of it. Throw into Ipswich. It's got the referee's assistant back in the good books. Morsey lifts the ball forward. Agbadou will control it. Sarr tells him to go forward. He doesn't want the ball, the goalkeeper. Agbadou obliges, looking towards Strand Larsen. Him battling with O'Shea. Good header won by O'Shea. Putting his forehead and nose towards the knee of Strand Larsen.
This is an untidy spell, but it's an important spell, because it doesn't really matter about playing quality football at this present moment as far as Town is concerned. You just stay in front. You let Wolves sort out all the other bits and pieces.
Town have the advantage. Liam Delap with a goal. Wolves trying to play it down the left-hand side. Too much on it for Strand Larsen. I think he could have maybe stretched that leg and kept that in play. It's out of play there for an Ipswich Town throw. Axel Twanzebe is going to be taking it. Liam Delap, I don't know what he's talking so forcefully to the Town bench about. Broadhead running through a couple of Wolves players. Eventually takes a tumble. It's almost 4-on-1 against him there. Seems inevitably he's going to lose the ball, really. Doherty back to Sarr. Sarr clips the ball high over the halfway line. Headed on by Strand Larsen towards O'Shea rather than Bellegarde. Strand Larsen takes it down his right thigh. Appeals for handball from the crowd, not given. Totti will then go back to Sarr. Sarr with a reverse pass back to Totti at left back. Little ball down the line. Andre, Morsey's on to him. Forward from Totti to Bellegarde. Bit of a heavy touch. O'Shea wins it briefly for Ipswich Town. And it's back to Wolves and Doherty. Doherty up towards Munetsi. I'm seeing him in an attacking sense, really, Munetsi. Bellegarde trying to get Munetsi away. Blocked off by the shin, by the hip of Burgess. Had to improvise, but it worked well. Oh, Palmer! Oh, Alex Palmer! Has that gone in? Not quite. Almost. The most embarrassing, worst goal of the season from nowhere, given away by Ipswich Town. The ball went through him and seemed destined to cross the line. I don't think it has. The referee would have known by now. He managed to somehow scramble back.
What's he giving now?
Clear it away. What is the referee doing now?
Something to do with the back pass.
I think he might have given a free kick for Alex Palmer handling it off to our left-hand side, but oh, he did. It didn't go over the line at all, but that was an awful moment.
This is a strange one.
It was a back pass and he just took his eye off the ball and then in the end had to touch it with his glove, otherwise it would have been 1-1, and he's given away a free kick to Wolves inside the Ipswich Town penalty area. It was a shocking bit of goalkeeping from Alex Palmer, complete lack of concentration, and I don't think the ball really took a bobble or anything as he went to control it.
So this is an indirect free kick, 6 yards from goals. Right in the middle of the goal as well.
Just looking at fans' faces on the TV pictures, so concerned, but oh, that was a horrible moment. My heart skipped numerous beats because I was convinced that was going to go in. That was horrible. Well, Town have got 11 players inside the 6-yard area off to our left-hand side, and they've got pretty much 10 of them on the goal line at the moment. This is bizarre. What strange circumstances. It's like the celebration off the back of the Huddersfield game last season when Town were promoted, and they all had their photo taken along that goal line in front of the North Stand. They've reassembled the class of 24-25 in a very similar position. The referee's just doing a final bit of sorting out.
Well, if I was Wolves, I'd put a line of players that prevent the Town players seeing the ball, so they don't see the ball actually being rolled, and then they have to just go low and let the shot go high. So, but it's not as easy as it looks. That's what it's not, because there's not a lot of space to hit it in, but obviously height, there's more areas that you could get the ball in than low.
Well, this is very bizarre. Wolves have a free kick. Wolves have a free kick on the edge of the Ipswich Town 6-yard area. 10 of all 11 players on the goal line off to our left. It is so weird, a yellow card for Alex Palmer for encroachment. This is strange. Wolves with a great chance to equalise. A free kick on the edge of Ipswich Town's 6-yard area. Out come the players, it's blasted, but they did their job, and up it goes, and out behind for a corner kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Alex Palmer's got away with one there.
They probably never work at that type of thing in training because they never expect to get it. That's why you put a wall in front of the ball, so you don't get that immediate encroachment.
It was difficult for Wolves to score, thankfully. Very, very strange incident. Corner kick to Wolves. 8-0 in towards the near stick. Headed away by Enciso. Not good delivery. Out come the Blues. Broadhead leads the charge. Dabbed off to the left-hand side, and João Gomez, he punts it high into the Ipswich area. Morsey's underneath this one. Gets a touch. Difficult to deal with, given the air on the ball and also the bright sunshine. The back header from Agbadou. Bellegarde on the right wing. Agbadou swings a high cross. You can see he's not played as a winger very often in his career, the big man. That'll do Ipswich Town the world of good. So it's high, wide and out behind.
Breathing space. That's what Town need now, particularly the goalkeeper, Alex Palmer, because that was possibly going to be the most horrendous mistake of all time, but he's got away with it. We can settle down.
Tuanzebe. Town lead 1-0. with 5.5 minutes in the first half to go, but that was an awful moment when that ball was rolling towards the goal line. Full credit to him for reacting so quickly and getting back, and then with that bizarre free kick inside Ipswich Town's area. Now Andre runs into the centre circle, plays the ball up to the far side where it's going to be controlled by the number 22 Semedo. Wolves trying to get level before the half-time whistle as Agbadou has it. You can feel a lot more comfortable and relaxed back at centre half rather than having to try to swing a ball into the Ipswich Town area from a right wing position as he was trying to do 90 seconds or so ago. Through to Wolves down the near side. 8-0 to take it. Going infield to Strand Larsen. He turns it around the corner, but Kayuste is there. Haven't mentioned him much recently. Burgess thinks he's clear as to Enciso. Enciso gets the better of Andre. Running forward, gives it to Delap. Good play between the two of them. Delap still has the ball. Enciso wants it in the middle, but he's offside. Eventually, Delap is robbed while he's trying to make up his mind and pick out the right pass. Out for a throw far side to Jens Kayuste.
Well, the right pass was just hold on to it a fraction longer, and Connor Townsend was coming like an express train on and over that.
O'Shea to Morsey in the centre of the field, controls it well under pressure, gives it back to Tuanzebe. João Gomez has a bit of a nibble at the former Manchester United man. O'Shea just inside his penalty box, gives it to Palmer. Out it goes to his left-hand side, Burgess. Burgess, terrible pass, not good enough. Semedo wide right outside the Ipswich area. A little back heel finds Bellegarde. Bellegarde goes down very lightly. The referee's totally uninterested, and he's totally right. Wolves win it back in midfield. Town can't make the breakthrough. Doherty into the box to Strand Larsen, who can't stretch and control it. Those long legs of his weren't quite long enough, and it's back with Palmer as Bellegarde continues to complain about the foul that wasn't given.
Well, there's a rush of blood by Matt Doherty. He could see the possibility of the pass to Strand Larsen, and he just wanted to get it to Larsen too quickly, and so he overhit it. Larsen's position was excellent, and Doherty should have done an awful lot better with it.
Not a good ball from O'Shea to Morsey. Wolves have been gifted a throw-in midway inside the Ipswich Town half of the field. 3.5 minutes to go until the break on BBC Radio Suffolk. Here is João Gomez on the ball. He goes back towards Totti. Totti to the halfway line, and Agbadou is João Gomez again, sent off against Arsenal earlier on this season. Full Brazil international, played in that game against Argentina last week. It was torrid evening for Brazil against their fierce rivals. One in the air by Semedo, but only for Kayuste. Kayuste can't quite get beyond halfway, or he does, but only after he pulled down Semedo. And it's a free kick to Wolves inside their half. 2.5 minutes of this first half still to go on BBC Radio Suffolk. Town with that slender 1-0 lead. Wolves passing it through midfield. Andre finds Semedo on the right-hand side. Bellegarde. over in the far left corner as we look at Portman Road. Bellegarde with a left-footed cross to the far post. Collected by Palmer, comfortably enough. You'd expect him to make that. And he just breathes a sigh of relief as he stays down on the ball for an extra couple of seconds.
Yeah, it was a good take. It was a poor cross, but it was a good take.
Able to calm down. Of course, he's experienced enough to just forget about that and move on. It's not a young goalkeeper, Alex Palmer, that might have been a little bit shaken up by that moment of a few minutes ago. That'll be completely out of his head. He's focusing on the job in hand and holding on to this clean sheet. First of all till half-time, and then obviously as long as he possibly can beyond that. Townsend goes down. Free kick given for the challenge by Bellegarde on the Ipswich Town left back. Leif Davis incidentally back on the Town bench this afternoon, if you weren't with us earlier on, but no Amari Hutchinson just yet, for obvious reasons. He'd love to be involved next Sunday. Amari. Cameron Burgess in the centre circle. Morsey's very close to him. Kiyuste is also there. Australian's looking further forward though. He floats the ball out to the left side for Townsend. Easily dealt with by Semedo. Back on the ball is Enciso for Ipswich. Loves to get on the ball and hold on to it. Takes a tumble. The referee says free kick for Ipswich. Munetsi just overstepping the mark in terms of his physical challenge. Yeah. Fourth official's ready with his board down below us. Could be a little bit of added on time, largely because of that free kick a few moments ago inside the Town penalty area. On halfway, Sam Morsey has the ball, the Ipswich Town captain. Kiyuste to Burgess, back the ball goes to Kiyuste. Now it's with O'Shea. Axel Twanzebe on the halfway line. Up to Morsey, Town just passing it around, leading by 1-0. To be told how much added on time there's going to be at the end of this half. Totti looking forward towards Strand Larsen, held up by O'Shea. Twanzebe gives it back towards Johnson, who's gone behind him to cover. 3 minutes of added on time at the end of the first half. Delap barged over by Agbadou. Free kick, well won by the Ipswich Town goal scorer. He's got plenty to say for himself with Agbadou this afternoon as Liam Delap. Trying to get under the skin of the Ivorian.
Silly free kick to give away. I mean, it's difficult for Liam to deal with that type of ball. He's so close to the touchline, and then he just crashes right into the back of Liam.
Ball forward towards Delap. Delap heads it down to Broadhead, but then his control just takes the ball away from him. Cleared away by Agbadou towards halfway. Kiyuste wins the header over Bellegarde. Townsend knocked to the floor. Flag goes up. It's going to be a free kick to Ipswich Town on the far side, so that'll waste a few more valuable seconds of the remaining 2 minutes of added on time at the end of this first half. Town still leading by 1-0. O'Shea goes square to Twanzebe. Twanzebe touches the ball beyond Munetsi. Broadhead loses it, but it's a foul on him. Appealed for by Kieran McKenna, given by Peter Banks. Of course, as Ipswich Town men are trying to avoid going into the Championship, Ipswich Town women have a great chance to take a huge stride towards getting into the Championship for the first time in their history. They're away at Watford tomorrow. Win that game and they're just about up. They need 4 points from their remaining 3 fixtures. Although 3 would almost certainly be good enough because of goal difference, but one game at a time is the mantra from Joe Sheehan and co. That would be terrific if they could come back from Watford with a win tomorrow. Does seem destined to be their season in the Southern Premier Division. Wish them well tomorrow. Your reaction to that on the Blue Hour on Monday night between 6 and 7 as Broadhead can't get a hold of the ball. Andre lifts it over the top of Enciso. Semedo running on a diagonal to the far side in the sunshine, puts the ball forward to Bellegarde. Maybe a last chance for Wolves to get an equaliser in this first half. It's Bellegarde, gets away from Kiyuste. Semedo is there, Semedo's on the ball. Little ball into the Ipswich area to Strand Larsen, can't shoot at that angle, gives it back to Bellegarde. Bellegarde left-footed towards the far post, there's a player there, so to Twanzebe. Palmer should take charge, and he does. He goes up over the top of Munetsi.
Yeah, good play in the end. That was sort of like they were in control of that sort of attack, Wolverhampton, which always worries you, and then the cross comes in. It's slightly too high, but we've dealt with it really well because we've been strong on the back post.
Alex Palmer in the final 20 seconds of this slightly extended first half, which Ipswich Town lead 1-0. He clears to Agbadou. Up goes O'Shea against Manetzi. The ball comes down to Andre. Strand Larsen lifts it up through the centre circle. Townsend challenges Semedo. Townsend comes away with the ball, then's happy to knock it forward as the referee blows his whistle for the final time in this first half. Jog the Ipswich Town players towards the tunnel, leading this huge game by 1 Liam Delap goal to 0, McMills.
Yeah, it was a good game because it sort of opened well, didn't it? I mean, Town got off to a sort of blistering start, you know, something they probably really sort of wanted, and, you know, that takes all the nervous tension away from the fans, the players, everybody. You know, you get off to that type of start, and it gave us sort of something to sort of really, a lot of feeling in the game, but then it lasted for quite a sort of lengthy time for a start of the game, but then Wolves slowly but surely sort of weathered the storm and then, you know, produced a spell equally as good as what Ipswich had started with. So straight away it was an end-to-end game, it was an exciting game. You felt that the key was going to be in the penalty areas because both teams could sort of pass the ball up to the penalty areas, but it was the set plays and the long throw-ins that were going to be the key, and in the end that's where we got the opening goal from. Liam Delap, you know, excellent. We've seen him sort of score a terrific goal down at Bournemouth, and now he's got a real poacher's goal today. You know, he's the one. There's a header back across goal into the danger zone. That danger zone has been vacated by a moving up Wolverhampton defence. Liam Delap seizes the opportunity and goes into that space, meets the ball and puts us 1-0 in front. It's an interesting match in as much that we've been the team that's chosen just to alter our system slightly, not much, but just slightly, just to counteract Wolverhampton. Wolves' preferred system is 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, 2 holding centre midfield players who incidentally are very good, and then they've got 1 lone striker, and then the other 2 players are not quite touchline players, but they play in attack just off the touchline, and we've decided let's play this exactly the same way. So we've got Broadhead and Enciso playing as attackers but not on the touchlines. They're playing infield to support Delap, and it's working nicely, you know. So, and our 2 wing backs, who this is probably new to us, you know, Ben Johnson's done it a little bit, but I don't think Connor Townsend has really sort of done the wing-back role very much. So they're playing against 2 experienced wing-backs. So for me, even though, you know, we've still got a full half to go, that is a key area. Ben Johnson taking care of Aït-Nouré on this side, and then you've got Semedo over on the other side against Townsend. Key positions, but it's a close game. We had a sticky old spell to just past the halfway stage in the first half, but it didn't matter. Town were in front at that stage, and you know, if it was going to become a messy game, it would be at the detriment of Wolves rather than Ipswich. So decent half, we're in front, crucially in front, so the atmosphere in our dressing room will be as good as what you could have hoped. Let's make sure the words are good in there, the players listen to the instructions, and we come out nice and refreshed and start the second half like we did the first.
Yeah, fingers crossed Ipswich Town can go on and grab 6 points from these 2 massive games this week. They completed half the job at Bournemouth the other night, and at the midway stage of this one they're leading Wolves by 1-0.
Good stuff elsewhere in the Premier League today. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1, half-time at Selhurst Park. Jean-Philippe Mateta opening the scoring for the home side. Danny Welbeck levelling on the half-hour mark. Bournemouth are a goal to the good away at West Ham. Evan Nielsen. Earlier today, the lunchtime kickoff finished Everton 1, Arsenal 1. In the Championship, Burnley top as things stand. They beat Coventry 2-1 earlier today. Leeds held 1-1 at Luton. Sunderland won 1-0 at West Brom. Sheffield United trailing at Oxford in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Norwich City, by the way, 2-0 down away at Plymouth this afternoon. Non-league wise, we're at 2 matches this afternoon. We'll check in with Jack in Leiston and Nick in Felixstowe and Walton next.
Friday evenings Mornings from 7 with Angel Joseph.
Wow, this is going to be amazing. Do you know what? I spent all of last week looking for what I was calling a Blirish person, someone who's black and Irish, and it was literally such a struggle. And then you sent me that, and I was like, oh, could have just asked Sue.
Dad being black Caribbean, Mum being white Irish, it's made me, I think, able to chat to everybody on every level. All the friends coming around, that comes with it. Just diverse, and it's allowed me to see the world like that and not have any judgment on anyone. I'm grateful for that, really grateful.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
You are with Matchday half-time in our main feature. Ipswich Town 1, Wolves 0. Liam Delap, who else? Second half on the way shortly. In the Southern Premier League Central Division this afternoon, AFC Sudbury 2-0 up at home to Sturbridge. That would be a good scoreline as far as their fight against relegation is concerned. This is a bad one for Lowestoft. They're trailing 2-0 at Bromsgrove Sporting. Leiston are chasing a playoff place. They're at home to Banbury United. Jack McLean's at Victory Road.
And it's a good first half for Leiston. They lead the visitors Banbury by a goal to 0. The game started frantically with Banbury controlling the opening exchanges. The away side won a corner within 2 minutes, and it was whipped in by Ferguson under the bar and nearly caught out keeper Johnson, who somehow managed to keep it out. Banbury then pinned Leiston back for the opening 10 minutes until a long ball headed towards defender turned makeshift striker Kyron Clements, who headed it to Mills on the left-hand side of the box, who put it across goal for Clements to run onto it and score his 10th goal of the season. The game then opened up after the goal with captain Seb Dunbar finding himself in the box. His wicked shot was met by the Banbury keeper Harding, and he was equal to it as well. Banbury's best chance of getting back into this game seems from the long throw route, one on the half an hour mark and one literally just before the first time whistle was blown, was thrown into the area. But both times Leiston managed to get it clear. One more chance of note for Leiston, and that came of former Ipswich Town youth player Jack Manley, who couldn't make the most of a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, who came out and smothered the ball. Look, the wind will play a massive factor in this game. It already has in the first half, with goal kicks hanging in the air for Leiston, who have been kicking into the wind. But for the second half, the good news is they've got that wind on their side. Will they be able to use the most of it and continue this lead? At the half-time, it's Leiston 1, Banbury 0.
Thank you, Jack. Into the Isthmian North Division. Good news so far for title-chasing Bury Town. They're 1-0 up away at Malden Tiptree through Ryan Jolland. It's bad news so far for Felixstowe Walton United. They trail at the Martello ground, Nick Garnham.
Yes, it's Felixstowe Walton United 0, Hayborough Swifts 1. And Felixstowe Walton United are going to have to come from behind if they're going to claim all 3 points here this afternoon. They trail at the interval to a 20th minute goal by former Seasider Andy Fennell in what have been testing conditions with a strong wind and a hard surface. Charlie Warren had the first chance for Felixstowe after just 5 minutes, controlling Josh Hitter's precise pass on his chest and cutting inside a defender, but his shot was saved by the keeper. Only a great block by Felixstowe centre-back Toby Stevenson stopped Fennell from getting a shot on target 2 minutes later. And then in the 18th minute, Tom Warren's ball forward was controlled by brother Charlie, whose shot was saved by debut-making goalkeeper Josh Blackburn, and Sam Ford's follow-up was head over his own crossbar by Joseph Adewunmi. The visitors went in front 2 minutes later. The Felixstowe defence failing to clear a ball down the left wing, and Koto Apenteng crossed low for Fennell to side-foot powerfully home despite Harry Wright's best efforts to keep it out. Hit a hook just wide the near post from Geordie Matthews' cross following a short corner just before the half-hour. Well, at the other end of the 41st minute, Wright got down smartly to push away Alfie Cutbusher's low drive. Then in the first of 2 minutes of added time, Hitter hooked over the bar after taking down Billy Holland's lofted pass. Half-time at the Martello ground, it's Felixstowe Walton United 0, Hayborough Swifts 1.
Thank you, Nick. A reminder, Bury Town ahead away at Malden and Tiptree. Mildenhall 0, Haringey Borough 0. Newmarket 2-1 up at home to Galston. Ipswich Wanderers 1-0 up away at Cambridge City. In the Thurler-Nunn Premier Division, title-chasing Brantham Athletic are goalless at Dereham. Downham Town 1, Thetford 0 at half-time. In the live table, Brantham and Downham level on points as things stand. Just away from football, Jockey Paul Townend rides favourite I Am Maximus as he bids for back-to-back wins in the Grand National this afternoon. The big race about to get underway. Here's John Hunt.
A maximum field, 34 contenders then for the Grand National, and I Am Maximus, last year's winner, is back to try and win it again. If he could do so, he would join Red Rum as the first horse since those heady days in the 70s to carry top weight to victory in the big race. Rachel Blackmore is back for more as well. Remember, she famously won the race with Minella Times 4 years ago. She rides another Minella. This time it's the former Gold Cup winner Minella Indo. But for those who don't count themselves as aficionados, maybe the likes of Hitman, part owned by Sir Alex Ferguson, Brave Man's Game, Can Do Kid, Free Card Bragg or Twig could attract them.
John Hunter reporting from Aintree. Big news from the world of boxing today. If you've missed it, a dream come true is how Ipswich boxer Fabio Wardley's described the news that he'll fight at Portman Road this summer. It's been confirmed today the unbeaten former British heavyweight champion will face the American Jarrell Miller on Saturday, the 7th of June in a WBA interim world title contest. We heard at length from Fabio in the first hour of today's programme. You can find our pre-match hour up on BBC Sounds. If we've time, we'll bring you a little bit more from Fabio during the final half hour of today's programme as well. On Wednesday of next week, Leiston and Felixstowe Walton United will meet in the final of this season's Suffolk Premier Cup, a 7:45 kick-off at Needham Market Ecologic Stadium, Bloomfields. For Seasiders assistant manager Andy Crump, who will be leaving the club at the end of the season after 5.5 years. This will be his 4th Premier Cup final, 2 as a player and 2 in the dugout.
As a player, I don't remember too much about the first one as a 16-year-old playing with Felixstowe at that point, but certainly against Bury, I thought we were well beaten on the night. And last year's probably holds the most amount of what maybe could have been. We felt like we were on the wrong end of a few decisions and bits and pieces that made it tougher than maybe what the game kind of ended up playing out, and we felt the boys on the night deserved probably more from it. So a good opportunity quite quickly to put those wrongs right, I think.
Andy Crump, the Felixstowe Walton United assistant manager, speaking ahead of Wednesday's Suffolk Premier Cup final at Needham Market, Ecologic Stadium, Bloomfields. Felixstowe Walton United versus Leiston. You can hear more from Andy Crump by listening back to last night's Matchday preview programme, which is still available up on BBC Sounds. Second half of today's main feature on the way. Can Ipswich Town cut that gap to Wolves to 6?
First league meeting here in the top flight between these two since 1983. It's been a fair old while. Here come Wolves. Strand Larsen inside the Ipswich area with a chance! Saved on the near post by Palmer. That was the first sight of goal for either team. Thankfully, off to our left-hand side, it's ended up in no more than a corner kick to Wolves. Twan Zabi looks up, knocks the ball into the Wolves penalty area towards O'Shea. O'Shea centrally, surely a goal! It's in! And it's Liam Delap yet again! He nipped in behind the Wolves defence and prodded it into the net. 16 minutes gone at Portman Road in this huge relegation battle, and it's first blood Ipswich Town. Town 1, Wolves 0. Nori, and it comes, great corner. It's off the line somehow or other. That looked miraculous that it didn't go into the back of the net. Town have somehow got it out behind. It's a corner kick. Bellegarde trying to get Manetzi away, blocked off by the shinny, by the hip of Burgess, had to improvise, but it worked well. Oh, Palmer! Oh, Alex Palmer, has that gone in? Not quite. Almost the most embarrassing, worst goal of the season from nowhere, given away by Ipswich Town. The ball went through him and seemed destined to cross the line. I don't think it has. The referee would have known by now. He managed to somehow scramble back.
With BBC Sounds, you're in control.
Good morning.
Let's get talking about it then.
I've got you intrigued, haven't I?
Volume up.
Ooh, that's a bit loud, isn't it?
Volume down.
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
You see? you're in control.
With the latest BBC News. Stop.
Oi! I was listening to that.
Play. And a large glowing spiral which appears. Rewind. Fast forward. And a large glowing spiral which appeared in the night. Mute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Take control with BBC Sounds.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Suffolk.
We're on air till 6 o'clock with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk. Your thoughts post-match, most welcome, of course. 0800 141 2121 to speak to Mick Mills, who'll be hanging around at Portman Road after today's game. He's alongside Brenna Woolley. Players back out for the second half.
Yeah, they are, Ipswich Town, just a little bit out behind Wolves, who've been out a good sort of 90 seconds or so. Wolves occupying the half off to our left in their old gold kit. Town in blue, white, blue. Looks like the same 22 players that started this game. Both sides unchanged from their midweek games as well. Palmer in the goal off to our right for Town, the only player on a yellow card. His back four, it's a back three really of Twanzebe, O'Shea and Burgess. The wing backs are Johnson and Townsend. Then you've got Morsey and Kiyuste in the centre, and Ciso and Broadhead supporting the goal scorer Delap. On the bench, Walton, Taylor the match winner at Molyneux, Hurst, Clark, Davis, Philogene, Phillips, Chaplin, Wolfenden. Wolves have Sarr between the posts off to our left in pink. His back three, Doherty, Agbadu, Gomez. That's Totti, Gomez. Then a four of Semedo, the captain, Andre, João Gomez and Ait Nouri. And then Manetzi and Bellegarde support Strand Larsen. On the bench, Bentley, Huang, Bueno, Rodrigo Gomez, Doyle, Sarabia, Forbes, Guedes and Jigger. Play underway, and it's the goalkeeper in old pink, Sarr, who slices the ball out near side for a throw to Ipswich Town in the left back area. Yeah, Liam Delap's goal after 16 minutes. A poacher's finished. Town haven't scored too many of those this season. Very different to the goal that he scored the other night when he just about took the net away. What a strike that was at Bournemouth, but counting for just as much at the moment anyway. But obviously 45 minutes plus still to go. Things can change dramatically at any point, but Town have done well enough so far as Wolves see the ball back again to Sarr in the penalty area in front of the north stand. A good 2/3 of the lower tier is in sunshine. Still lovely sunshine in the eyes of those supporters. Lower tier cobbled stand far side as Johnson motors back and clears away left-footed from his back line towards the halfway line. Out of play, it goes near side as Shani Aluko just comes back to his seat on the Ipswich Town bench just behind Martin Pert down below us. Nelson Semedo on halfway with this throw in for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Afterwards, have yours on BBC Radio Suffolk. 0800 141 2121 is the phone number to chat to Mick and Graham, or text 81333. Start those messages SFK or WhatsApp. Start those SFK as well. The number for those 08000 321 333. And also get in touch with me ahead of the Blue Hour on Monday between 6 and 7. It's been a while since we celebrated an Ipswich Town win on the Blue Hour. The email for that is brenner@bbc.co.uk. I look forward to chatting to you after the 6 o'clock news on Monday. Here come Wolves down this near side with the throw, and it's Manetzi. Can't get the better of a combination of Townsend and Burgess. The latter clears to halfway. Delap can't hold on to it. Strand Larsen back to João Gomez, the number 8. Clearly a player. He finds Totti just north of the centre circle. Now it's with Andre, the whole of the centre circle in lovely sunshine. Totti's far side, ball down the line to Ait Nouri. He checks back, tries to shake off Broadhead. Back to the far touchline. Wolves have it. Now in midfield, Andre, the busy number 7. Totti shapes up, crosses into the Ipswich area, beats O'Shea, brought down inside the box. Shot from Semedo, blocked. Cleared away by Johnson. Rare error from O'Shea in there. Half a whiff of goal for Wolves. Wolves pressing again, urged on by their fans, looking for an equaliser. Left-footed cross from Ait Nouri. Axel Twanzebe made a bit of a mess of it, but was able to regroup and pass it out far side for a Wolves throw outside the Town area.
Yeah, they've started this half well. They've sort of constantly had the ball.
Lovely play from Ait Nouri, taking on Johnson, getting the better of him, gets to the byline, plays it into the middle, and the effort from Wolves from Manetzi was way off target. Couldn't sort his feet out quickly enough, basically.
Yeah, sometimes I look at Ait Nouri and sort of I don't like his attitude sometimes, but it puts me off him. But he isn't a bad player. He can get forward. He's got a lot of ability, and he's as good in that sort of attacking third as what Leif Davis is, really.
Really got a similar temperament to Cunha based on what we saw, the antics at the end of the first game at Molineux, but he is a very, very good footballer. Just got himself involved in those ugly scenes and completely lost it, actually. People kind of forgot a bit about that because of Cunha's craziness with the glasses being ripped off the steward's face and the aftermath of that, but it was Aït-Nouri who got sent off and acted a bit silly, really. Kiyuste gets on the ball in midfield, goes away from a couple of players, couldn't get beyond the third. Andre glides away from Broadhead, gets to halfway. Town lead 1-0, remember. There's going to be lots of clock watching as this game progresses whilst it stays 1-0. We'll just want the time to disappear. Wolves at centre-half with Agbadou. Gives it back to João Gomez. On the left-hand side, coming forward, Bellegarde. In front of him, Aït-Nouri, in front of the Wolves fans. A little step over, gets into the area, pulls it back to the edge of the box. Now João Gomez back to goal, 20 yards out. Dinked into the box towards Strand Larsen. Hit his hand. Nothing given other than a wave on from the referee. Cleared by Townsend. Agbadou gets there ahead of Delap. Good battle between those two heavyweights as Kiyuste prods the ball forward. Talking of heavyweights, nice to see Fabio Wardley here earlier on, talking about his fight on the PA system that will be here on Saturday the 7th of June. Fabio Wardley versus Jarrell Miller. It's going to be an exciting night, a special night for all concerned. Is this going to be a special afternoon for all concerned? Forward from Andre, João Gomez, edge of the Ipswich area, invited to shoot, he's hit the post. Palmer was beaten, then has another go, it's deflected off of Townsend, and out behind, Wolves are looking very bright at the moment, and that is comfortably the closest they've come to a goal all afternoon.
Well, it's those balls going from centre-backs, threading into the likes of Andre and Gomez that is really sort of disturbing us. They're clever balls, they're picking out spare men in the centre of midfield, and that was terrific play from their own half into sort of the penalty area position. A great shot.
Aït-Nouri by the tunnel with this corner kick. It's a good one, headed away behind by Burgess. Another corner kick to Wolves, their 8th. Oh no, the referee said that's come off an Ipswich Town player. So 7 corner kicks so far for Wolves. This one though is a goal kick to Alex Palmer. Let's go back to Graham for some national news.
Yes, get your betting slip out, Mick Mills. I know it's there. Nick Rockett has won it for Willie Mullins from last year's winner, I Am Maximus, in second.
Do you have that one in the sweep or anywhere, Nick?
No, but my brother texted me this morning, my oldest brother, so he's very old, my oldest brother.
I didn't say
he
that.
had the winner.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow, well done him. Drinks are on him this evening. Ball out on this near side for a throw to Connor Townsend of Ipswich Town. Number 22, just a couple of yards to the left of Kieran McKenna, who we'll hear from on match day before we're off air at 6 o'clock. Hopefully talking about back-to-back victories. And Cissé with a touchdown looking for Delap. Kept in play by João Gomez, who is a good player. Very comfortable on the ball in midfield. Goes square to the far side. So Wolves linked with Jadon Sancho of Manchester United in some of the gossip columns this morning. That'll be an interesting move this summer. Obviously that is dependent on them keeping their Premier League status. Matt Doherty, very experienced Irish international, back for a second spell, gives it to Semedo in towards Strand Larsen. O'Shea dropped, then there's a shot out of Menezzi. Wolves with Aït-Nouri building up some pressure outside the Ipswich area. João Gomez weaves his way away from a couple of challenges, one from Morsey, one from Enciso. Semedo has the ball near side, taunting a couple of Ipswich Town players, gets his cross in from nowhere. It's a really good one towards the far stick, and Menezzi did phenomenally well. Semedo there showed all of his quality. Cleared away by Ipswich. Delap slips, chasing the ball. Agbadou just cushions it to his right hand side. João Gomez, Andre with a little touch. Those two players, you can see they've played together an awful lot on exactly the same wavelength, the two Brazilians. Town under the cosh a little bit at the moment, just need to stand strong. This was inevitable that Wolves would have a go. João Gomez's ball forward, O'Shea's going to try and see it out behind, which he manages to do. It's an Ipswich Town ball. Again, Strand Larsen shows an awful lot of frustration.
That was really, that play by Gomez and Andre in the midfield there was wonderful play. You know, they've really got the whole team going, those two. We've got to make sure we tighten up on those. You know, the 3 centre-backs are able to just thread it into their And once either one of those two gets it, they can really progress the play and cause a lot of danger to the Town back line. Got to get tighter.
Yeah, Vitor Pereira is up in the press area, just seeing the cameras on him again. Seeing a bit more from his side at the moment, ominously. 1-0 Ipswich still lead though. Nori on the halfway line, far side, nice. Another little short ball round the corner. They're good at that, Wolves. Andre picks out a pass to João Gomez, difficult for him to deal with. He couldn't. Townsend forced to chase back into his area and clear left-footed out on this near side of the field for a throw-in to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Doherty gets the ball to João Gomez, back with Doherty on this right-hand side, the number 2. Infielder goes to Strand Larsen. Doherty's carried it on into the area and he shoots under pressure. He sliced it out behind. The pressure came from Connor Townsend and it was enough to force Doherty to miss the target altogether.
There's wonderful play, and Doherty did two things really well. His ball into Strand Larsen was excellent. He got the return, he did that well, but his shot was very much a defender's shot.
Burgess to Palmer, so Town passing around short inside their penalty area. Palmer bangs it up to the far side. Johnson's challenged in the air successfully by Totti, and out it goes on the far side. 50 minutes gone at Portman Road, and that reminds me actually how nice would it be if Ipswich Town were to win on your 50th birthday. There's a birthday going on in Rattlesden today. I've got to say a very happy birthday to Emma Davies, who's celebrating her 50th birthday. Lots of love from Ben, Will and all the family. You wouldn't believe the number of reminders I've set on my phone to remember to say that, Emma, because Ben got in touch with me a few weeks ago and I was so scared that I'd completely forget, particularly in amongst all the excitement. So very happy birthday, Emma. Hope you're having a nice day, and hopefully Ipswich Town can go on and get this victory for you. They lead 1-0. So far so good as Morsey is upended. Free kick taken by O'Shea on this near side. Burgess has the ball, just crossing halfway, finds Enciso. He's shaken off the first challenge of Doherty, then uses his body well. Infield it goes to Delap. Still the only goal scorer so far. The ball's out of play against the TV camera. For a throw to Ipswich Town's Connor Townsend. Still 35 minutes to go. Delap's made a run wide left outside the Wolves area. Holds the ball up, then pings it off at Doherty. Tries to win a corner kick. Out it's gone.
It's very noticeable that Connor Townsend has picked up a really good understanding with Liam Delap. The times that they link up, even from that throw-in, one is responding early to the other one, and it's good play.
Can Town get a 2-goal lead after 11 minutes of this second half? On the ball for Ipswich is Johnson with this corner kick, right-footed into the mix it comes, still inside the area, off to our left, headed it back into the box by Townsend. Morsey to Delap inside the box, back to goal, loses his footing, gets back up on his feet, crosses in low, cleared away by Agbadu. Didn't want to take any chance that might have run through to his keeper, but he's hoofed it out far side for a throw to Jens Kiyuste. And of course the only goal so far, there was a throw at the start of it. Let's hope history can repeat itself. Kiyuste with this throw-in for Ipswich Town. 12 minutes gone in the second half. In the sunshine at Portman Road, and it comes headed away by Doherty as far as Twanzebe. He guides his header back out to the far side, the Ipswich right. In comes the cross from Kiyuste. O'Shea is up there, so too Burgess. It's O'Shea who made contact, and out behind the ball, Luke, sadly.
Yeah, we had 6 in the box for the long throw, and then when it was cleared, we got the clearance under control. So when that ball comes back in the box, we had good presence in there, and 2 of our 3 centre-halves were in there. O'Shea took it. He took the header. I thought that Cameron Burgess was in the best position.
Yeah, they did rather get in each other's way. Strand Larsen battling with O'Shea. Ball's out on the far side for a throw to Wolves. Nori takes it. Town in the live table, 6 points behind Wolverhampton Wanderers. João Gomez, a few tippy-tappy touches. Can't quite get away from Broadhead, but he has kept Wolves in possession. Andre into the middle, Agbadu bypasses in Siso. On this right-hand side, Doherty crosses into the Ipswich area towards Strand Larsen, headed over and away by the Ipswich Town defence. And it's out of play for a corner kick to Wolves. This one is their 8th of the afternoon.
Yeah, the ball came off a Town defender's shoulder there, so it was a good cross as well. It was a real testing ball.
Yeah, it was Dara O'Shea who got the contact under pressure from Strand Larsen, who's 6'4". In general, as we said, this Wolves side has a fair bit of height in it, which they're going to try and capitalise on now. They've got their 8th corner kick of this game. Off to our right-hand side, trying to turn around this 1-0 deficit. In it comes, it's travelled right the way through the 6-yard area. Picked up by João Gomez on the right-hand side, just inside the Ipswich area, towards the byline. Clips it to the far post, headed away by Johnson. Knocked back into a dangerous area by Bellegarde. It's still bouncing around, maybe a chance for Aït-Nouri. He spins it wide from 8 yards, but that was ominous viewing.
Yeah, there's real pressure in the Town box. They're really good in there. They've got great height. They pose a threat. We are dealing with it really well, really manfully actually, but I still going back. I don't like the amount of balls that Gomez is picking up in a lot of freedom. We don't seem to want to send anybody down to actually deal with him.
Town trying to play that from the back. Townsend currently has it. He's done very well. He plays the ball down the line. Chest trap from Delap in field. Only reaches Agbadou. He gives the ball to Morsey. Morsey scoops it high onto the chest of Delap in front of Kieran McKenna. He'll go back to Townsend. Townsend up towards Enciso. Great little flick on header from Enciso. Broadhead trying to get away from Agbadou. The ball wouldn't quite sit down. It was Totti who stretched out a leg and made contact with the ball and won it. João Gomez to Semedo. Down the right, running at Townsend. Semedo still has the ball. Little one in field to Gomez. Tries to play the 1-2 back towards Semedo. Good challenge from Townsend. Had a play for a goal kick. Well done, Connor Townsend, yet again.
But Gomez involved again. It's only a couple of involvements, but in the end, he's just got himself a little bit of room, 2 or 3 yards outside the penalty area, and his pass has almost put his colleague Semedo away.
He's been their best player, the Wolves number 8. Just past the hour mark on BBC Radio Suffolk. Still that goal from Delap after 16 minutes, the only difference. Wolves have hit the post and had that free kick on the edge of the Ipswich Town 6-yard area in the first half. Really quirky moment. That's been their best opportunities really to get back into this game. Doherty draws in Enciso and goes back to Agbadou. Full match commentary of Town at Chelsea. A week tomorrow. Next game here is Arsenal. 2 weeks tomorrow. Back-to-back Sunday games for Town. 3 weeks today will be at St James's Park. Alex Matthey alongside me. Ipswich Town away to the Carabao Cup winners. There's a foul on João Gomez given against Enciso, who is then going to run through towards goal, he felt, even though the foul has happened inside his own half of the field, but not too many complaints out on the pitch anyway, although Kieran McKenna's having a little word with the 4th official.
There's a foul, there's a little bit of a stamp on his foot, but the referee hasn't blown his whistle for a free kick, and the player sort of just goes down and leaves the ball alone, and the referee sort of gave him a free kick. He's not really supposed to do that, the referee.
Jack Taylor coming on for Ipswich Town. As I said earlier, the match winner the last 2 times that these sides have met.
Yeah, I think we're going to forfeit at 10 and get somebody with a little bit more legs on them, maybe to do a job against those 2 central midfield players of Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I wondered about Enciso maybe running out of gas. Great interception from Twanzebe, infield to Delap. Delap tries to be too clever, flicking it on towards Enciso. Town managed to get the ball back. Townsend towards Delap. Delap against Semedo. And the ball's come off Semedo. Well done, Liam Delap, for being persistent. Semedo was trying to be a bit too cool and casual. He thought he had that situation under control. Delap kept battling. And then he and Semedo square up to each other a little bit. Liam would do well to just walk away, which he has done. Remember, still on 9 yellows. He does not want to miss Chelsea and Arsenal, Liam Delap. Wolves are going to make a change as well. 2 changes for them. Another Gomez coming on, commentator's dream, and Sarabia, who's a striker, is about to be out there as well. Strand Larsen under pressure from Burgess, can't keep a hold of the ball. Aït-Nouri heads it away from Johnson. Strand Larsen can't bring it down in the centre spot. Knocked forward by O'Shea. It's turned into a decent pass wide on the right-hand side. Johnson one-on-one with Totti. Johnson gets his cross into the middle, deflected, and it's gone out behind for a corner to Ipswich.
Well, this will give us a little bit of just relaxation time now, because we've been sort of very much watching the play, most of this half as Wolves have dominated it, and here we are. We've got ourselves a corner at the other end of the pitch. Just take your time, relax, and see if you can make something of it.
Taylor, the solitary change from the home bench, but Rodrigo Gomez and Pablo Sarabia coming on for Wolves. Corner kick to Ipswich Town. They lead this game 1-0. And it comes from Townsend. Good ball as well, but the referee's seen something in there, so there'll be no second phase. He's blown up free kick. Right then, let's see what these changes are. Yep, it's Broadhead, who is the player who's coming off his races run. He's going to be replaced by Taylor, as Town tried to solidify in the centre of the field. And then Wolves are making attacking changes, which totally understandable. Bellegarde, no surprise that he's going off. He's done next to nothing in this second half. Sarabia, former Real Madrid player, started the cup game here last season. He's going to be coming on. And Rodrigo Gomez is coming on for Matt Doherty. So attacking, freshening up changes from the Wolves bench. Needs must as well. We're into the final half hour. And again, Liam Delap's goal separates these two sides. Let's head back to Graham for goal news from elsewhere.
Yeah, equaliser for West Ham at home to Bournemouth 1-1. Crystal Palace back in front at home to Brighton 2-1.
Here is Sarr. 1-1 Everton and Arsenal earlier on that game drawn. It's a Manchester derby tomorrow. Leicester City don't play till Monday. They're up against Newcastle. Southampton go to Tottenham tomorrow. Southampton were to win that game. Goodness knows what that would mean for Ange Postecoglou, not currently the most popular man in that part of North London. Sarabia crosses into the Ipswich area. Good header away from Twanzebe, who went with it. Nori. The ball still inside the Ipswich Town area. Nodded out now by Burgess, helped on its way by Taylor. Touched forward for Wolves, out to the right-hand side, and Sarabia trying to disguise ball in towards fellow sub Rodrigo Gomez. Kayusta carries it so far for Town, then gives it to Townsend. Good ball from Townsend up to Delap. Delap out to the right-hand side, looking for Johnson to get on a gallop, which he's done. He's up against João Gomez, who gets back, takes a touch. Has to turn it around the corner. João Gomez has done very well. Nori to Andre in the centre of the Wolves half. Here is Sarabia immediately getting on the ball quite a bit. Came from Paris Saint-Germain, the Spanish striker, a couple of years ago. Since against Seville and Sporting Lisbon, so he's got a more than useful CV, Pablo Sarabia. Here he is, playing the ball to the centre spot, and Agbadou. Wolves trying to win 3 successive matches for the first time this season, but at the moment trailing to Ipswich Town. Sarr, out the ball goes to Totti. Back to Sarr, just inside his area, closed down by Taylor, that was. And now Agbadou gets the better of Delap. Maybe showing a little bit signs of tiredness. Liam Delap certainly won't want to come off though. Totti to Nori, tries to roll away from Twanzebe. Ball still inside the Wolves half, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. It's with Agbadou. Agbadou fires a good pass between the lines, picked up by Munetsi. Munetsi has a go from a long way out. That really was wasted. Rodrigo Gomez was calling for the ball off to the right-hand side, but Munetsi only had his eyes for one thing.
Yeah, wasted shot really, and that ball from the centre-backs again that goes, straight through, straight through the centre of the pitch and picks out a midfield player. They do it really well, Wolverhampton.
Palmer to Delap. Delap flicks the header on. Way out of his area is Sarr. Sarr disguises to go long, but gives it short to Totti. Sarr's outside his box, still with the ball. Under pressure from Enciso, clouts it into the crowd directly opposite us.
Not that confident, Sarr, with the ball at his feet. He doesn't make his mind up quickly enough for me.
McMills alongside me at Portman Road as we reach the midway point of the second half. A quarter of the game to go. Can Ipswich Town hold on or extend this lead? Ball played forward, but only there for Semedo. Now it's João Gomez. Guides it back off the outside of his right boot to Totti. João Gomez outside his area. Still Wolves' outstanding player on the afternoon. Clearly are missing Matheus Cunha, that bit of magic, the X factor the Brazilian brings. Townsend chasing back, gets there ahead of Rodrigo Gomez, turns, clears his lines, turns into a pass for Enciso, which he cleverly dummied to Delap. Good play. Enciso's still got the ball, tries to wriggle away from a couple of challenges. He goes down, Delap's carried on the fight. He's down now against Agbadou. Agbadou goes into João Gomez. I didn't see a lot in that. We've got a fair bit of sympathy for Wolves on that particular occasion, but Town have won a free kick.
That was wonderful play between Enciso and Delap, but we got fortunate in the end. I mean, that wasn't the foul there.
Yeah.
Surprised the referee gave that.
Yeah, it was as well. Poor decision, but we'll take it. Certainly in Ipswich Town's favour. Connor Townsend and Ben Johnson standing over this free kick for Ipswich Town, trying to win back-to-back Premier League games for the first time this season. What a boost for everyone that would be to come off the back of an international break, where historically Town have really struggled in seasons gone by with matches off the back of an international break. Can they win both of them? Still a while to go. We know how things can turn around following Town down the years. Johnson with this free kick drills it into the Wolves box, glancing header away by Semedo, the skipper. It's going to be an Ipswich Town throw in the left back area outside the Wolves penalty box under the blue action banner over in the far left corner. As we're into the 70th minute, Kieran McKennahan's in pockets, just patrolling the technical area directly below us. Kayuste throws the ball into the Wolves box, might come back to it. No, João Gomez gets on it first, plays it forward, nodded by Morsey into the box towards Taylor, appeals for handball against Andre. Taylor trips him, and that's going to be a free kick to Wolves just outside their penalty box. There's a few Town players appeal for handball by Andre. Doesn't look like it's going to VAR. A yellow card for Semedo for the verbals. I think it was Semedo.
Strange that he's taken the guy's name. He really is, they put pressure on themselves, because if the same player Semedo, if he's to do something a little bit wrong, then he's under pressure, the referee, to send him off, and they do the first one so unnecessarily.
Free kick to Wolves at the back. Andre, who the appeals for handball were against. VAR didn't look at it though. Long clearance from Wolves. Aït-Nouri getting the better of Johnson, who's still all over him. Aït-Nouri's done well, he's inside the area. Excellent play. Shoot saved by Palmer on his right post. He had no right to get an effort in on goal from there, Aït-Nouri, but he did.
I think that's taken a bit of a ricochet, so the goalkeeper's done really well, Palmer. He's done really well to gather this so cleanly and confidently.
Yeah, it did. Took a deflection. Was that news from elsewhere, Graham?
Yeah, another West Ham goal, come from behind to lead Bournemouth 2-1. Bad week for Bournemouth so far.
Yeah, Bournemouth's European ambitions rather running out of steam. Even in the aftermath of that game on Wednesday, the local journalists saying, right, we can put our passports away. Well, that's another nail in the coffin this afternoon. There's Andre for Wolves. Town have still got a game down in front of us to go on and win. Scooped forward by Agbadou, headed away by O'Shea, throwing everything at that header. Here are Wolves with Manetzi. Morsey gets in the way though. Saying in the week he's got a good record against his first club, Sam Morsey. Obviously a fair number of his family still support them. Agbadou, good ball forward to Strand Larsen, brings it down well inside the Ipswich Town area. Superbly well done, the Norwegian. Pings it back high onto the list of Sarabia. Sarabia can't get away from Kayuste, and then shoots and scores! Sarabia, the substitute, was brought on for Wolves to do just that. 27 minutes into the second half, the Wolves fans celebrate a big goal for their club, and a big goal against Ipswich Town. It's now Ipswich Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
Big goal, you're right, it's a big goal, but it's it's the poorest strike I think we've had on target today. He's not hit it cleanly. He's not hit it with any real pace, but he's just got fortunate that when he does hit it, it hits the ground and just sort of evades the goalkeeper. I think it's a very fortunate one, and I just felt that it's come when Wolverhampton were just about to lose the plot, but Strand Larsen did really well. The ball into him wasn't a good one, but his big old long leg does a wonderful piece of control, and he sets the whole thing up.
Yeah, that was very good by him, that he held off his man, Flicked the ball up. Just going away from Palmer. His weight was off to his right-hand side. Palmer, he just couldn't transfer it back to his left. As Mick says, it wasn't the cleanest that Pablo Sarabia's ever hit a ball. Far from it. And we're having another delay. There was a brief VAR. Didn't come up on the screen, so we were unaware, but belatedly the referee, like he did in the first half, eventually points to the spot. And on this occasion, it's bad news, because it's 1-1, and it's still 9 points between these two sides as the league table looks back towards O'Shea. There's the TV cameras again, show Vitor Pereira. Well, Town have got to go in and try and win it again. Points, as Mick said right at the start of the programme, there were 2 results would suit Wolves. This was one of them. Town need to regain the lead somehow. In terms of on the bench, obviously Hurst's there. Philogene could create something. Clark certainly could. Hurst certainly could. So it'll be down to one of those players, or somebody that's out there at the moment. Twanzebe to Johnson on the far side, almost robbed by João Gomez. When does Kieran make a change, Mick?
Well, I think, it's got to be pretty quick, and I do just feel that maybe we could afford to go with the 2 up the front and take a chance. It would empty the midfield a little bit, and the midfield is a crucial area, but they've done something I find very strange. Is Gomez, the number 8, who was absolutely excellent in the centre of midfield, they've sort of shoved him a little bit semi-left side, where he can't make contact with the game so much.
Town have got to go on and win this game, really, so maybe it is time to change it up and have that little bit of a risk. Is that the risk or reward? Cleared away by Palmer. Loaded down by Wolves on halfway. Here is Burgess. Burgess to Kiyuste. One touch finds Townsend. Townsend forward to Enciso, just away from him. Agbadou will get it back towards his keeper, Sarr. 1-1 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Agbadou gives it into midfield, and Andre, quietly efficient. Sarabia, he's got quite an impact. Back it goes to the edge of the area. Maybe Jack Taylor setting up another 97th minute moment of drama. Sarr certainly won't be taking our eyes off this one right till the very death, given what happened at Molineux before Christmas. Strand Larsen knocks it down. Munetsi gets away from Kiyuste out to the right-hand side. Rodrigo Gomez, the sub for Wolves, plays a ball into the box. It's a really good cross. Strand Larsen's header just wouldn't come down quickly enough, and it's over the bar.
Wow, that should have been a goal. It really should. He's big enough, Strand Larsen. The ball is perfect. I thought the ball was going to be raked over to the far side, but they played a shorter one to a central position. And Strand Larsen is 6 yards from goals. He should score.
It was a terrific ball from Gomez. Over a relatively short distance, whilst at full pelt, he got it inch perfect, I thought, for the big man. I think George Hurst starting to have a little stretch down below. Certainly got his jogging bottoms off. Ready to go. Not quite sure who the Wolves fan is that they keep zooming in on in the crowd, the TV cameras. Certainly not Robert Plant, who we saw at Molineux before Christmas. Up in the air goes Munetsi, Morsey and Johnson trying to gang up on him. Morsey flicks the ball to Taylor. Taylor forward to Delap. Delap's on a chase. Agbadou covers the ground that bit quicker, spins and clears. In goes João Gomez, comes away with the ball but then runs into Morsey. Morsey takes it off of him. Johnson tries to give it back to the skipper. A little bit ragged far side. Taylor then wins it for Ipswich Town. Well done, Jack Taylor. Morsey to the right hand side and Taylor coming forward. Up against him is Totti. Both players go down. The referee says play on, which looks a fair call. We are a long way away, but from this distance, no complaints with Mr. Banks's decision, nor really has Kieran McKenna by the looks of him down below us. Well, wouldn't rule out there being a winner in this game. And boy, will that be a massive goal if it comes. João Gomez forward towards Sarabia, just away from him. Kiyuste wasn't ready for the ball, rather caught out. Kiyuste then stretches. It's going to go out for a throw to Wolves at left back. Messiest little period of the game, that.
Yeah, silly. I think Andre's pretty guilty. He's trying to do silly things, unnecessary things just outside of his own penalty area. Standing on the ball, just taking his time when there's passes on. Wolves have been at their best when they move the ball about. If he stops the progress, I think that will pay into the hands of Town.
Strand Larsen with a header in field, knocked forward by Kayuste and belted away by Agbadou. Out it goes on the far side for a throw to Ipswich Town. Come on Ipswich, fans are reacting. Martin Pert signalling towards the substitutes, and I think there will be plural as well. Maybe Clark, Philogene and Chaplin potentially all coming on, as well as Hurst, who I mentioned a few moments ago. Yeah, that's right, they've only had the one so far. It's rare for Town to just do one sub first off. It's only been Taylor, so they can bring on a quartet, and that might well be the case. Totally freshening things up. Chaplin's certainly about to make his first appearance since Newcastle before Christmas. Hurst's coming on. I think the two wide players, Clark and Philogene, might be getting some action as well. Here is Sarabia. His goal's made at 1-1, the only one we've seen in the second half. Gives the ball to João Gomez. 11 minutes to go on BBC Radio Suffolk. Aït-Nouri on the left-hand side steps over the ball, gives it into João Gomez. He might fancy having a dig. He does, but he pulls it wide under pressure from 20-odd yards.
Well, good play by their two of their most impressive players, Aït-Nouri and Gomez, and in the end Gomez gets actually a free hit from about 25 yards. It goes 2 or 3 yards past the post, but the two of them just engineered a shooting chance from nothing.
Leif Davis is the other one. It's not Jack Clark. So Hurst, Davis, Chaplin and Philogene. Town's final 4 changes.
Yeah, I can understand the Davis one because, you know, he's a real sort of a speed merchant down the sides, and he might just give us a bit of momentum going forward. He'll really do.
And set pieces as well. Well, Philogene is replacing Twanzebe.
Johnson back to fullback.
Yeah, one would have thought so. We're not going to see Delap and Hurst because Delap is coming off. 12 goals for the season. He's going to be replaced by George Hurst, who spoke as well as ever when Graham caught up with him at press yesterday. Jens Kayuste is also looking like he's coming off. Obviously the Townsend Davis one goes without saying. He's done well again there, Townsend, but
so that would be Morsey and Taylor in the centre of midfield as the holders. Connor Chaplin as a... Well, I don't know where he's going actually, Connor Chaplin.
Ciso still stayed out there. He's on there with Hurst and Chaplin.
Sticking with the 2 10s.
Yeah, they are.
Sticking with the back 5 too.
Burgess with this free kick on or goal kick on the edge of the Ipswich area, gives it to Palmer, then gets it back. 9 minutes plus added on time. This is the Ipswich Town 11 that will end this game. Hurst goes down against Andre. Free kick given away. So yeah, on have come Chaplin, Hurst, Philogene and Davis.
It's definitely a 4 actually.
Burgess, ball down the line. Davis is after it, just on the field. Early ball into the box, could be dangerous. Well done, he did the right thing, put it in nice and early. But Sarr was alert, got there ahead of Hurst. Good to see Leif Davis back.
We've got a back 4 and Philogene down the right-hand side. We're just nothing down the left. We've only got Leif Davis, who's going to have to do the whole length of the pitch.
Strand Larsen with a good header. Back comes Jack Taylor to get there ahead of Munetsi and find Palmer. Long kick downfield by Palmer, stomped by Agbadou to the centre of the field. Taylor keen to get involved. Strand Larsen has the ball for Wolves. Now Sarabia to this right-hand side. Rodrigo Gomez, 2 of the Wolves substitutes. Infield to Andre. 8 minutes to go live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. 1-1. Afterwards, have a chat to Graham Mimic. 0800 141 2121. Text 81333. Set those messages SFK. Or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. And email me ahead of the Blue Hour, Brenner at bbc.co.uk, on air from 6 till 7 on Monday. João Gomez down the left, outside the Ipswich Town area. In goes Chaplin. Great to have him back. And they've missed him, haven't they, Connor Chaplin, this second half of the season, Mick?
Yeah, without question. I think that we've sort of constantly struggled to get a real natural number 10, and Connor Chaplin is that. You know, I think that Enciso is a 10 in the making, but he's a very tricky player, whereas Connor Chaplin is much more straightforward.
7 minutes to go. Both sides really want to win this game for obvious reasons. Rodrigo Gomez puts the ball into Ipswich town area, cleared away by O'Shea, who now shields his eyes as Wolves come forward again. Sarabia just inside the box. His shot turns into a cross. Aït-Nouri is not quite tall enough. He can recycle the ball back to goal inside the Ipswich area, down the left channel. Aït-Nouri teases Philogene, gives it back to Enciso. Now it's with Andre, clips the ball towards the far post. There's nobody watching. Sarabia into the middle it goes, and it's turned into the net. And the flag has stayed down. Wolves lead. It's Strand Larsen with his 4th goal in 3 games, but none bigger than this one. Wolves have turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead, and as things stand, they're going 12 points clear of Ipswich Town in the battle to avoid relegation from the Premier League. This is a massive blow to Ipswich Town's chances of staying in the top flight. It's Ipswich Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. That's painful.
Yeah, we're very badly beaten on the back post, in the left back position. They managed to get possession of the ball. They just fire it into the 6-yard box. Larsen does well to actually manage to sort of lever it over the line, you know, but I did feel, was he in an offside position? But the answer to that, they've just shown it, I don't think so.
Well, the 2 previous goals have gone to VAR. The first one fairly lengthy. They looked at the last one. Let's wait and see. But at the moment, sadly, it's Ipswich Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. And players are round about the referee, just waiting for absolute confirmation. It's looking more and more likely, though, we're not going to have to bother with VAR next season.
It's a scruffier goal than the Delap one, but it's the same principle. The ball being one on the back post, this time with the foot instead of the head, and the follow-up is the questionable one. We thought they questioned whether Liam Delap was offside when he followed the one up in the first half of Town, and now the question is...
They are checking at the moment. The screen is telling us in the far corner, checking goal, possible offside. Wow, what a decision this is for Andy Madley.
I go like I did in the first half. I thought Delap had held his run nicely, and I think that Larsen has held his run just about.
Well, there will be some reaction from both sets of supporters to this decision when it eventually comes through. Wolves are ready, another centre half to come on and shore things up, and what they hope will be a 2-1 lead as Bueno enters the field.
It is close, this one, but it does appear as if it's just in favour of Wolverhampton, but it's very, very close.
Fingers and toes firmly crossed that this one is chalked off. All eyes on the referee to see whether he points to the centre spot, as he has done twice so far in this game after VAR intervention, or whether he signals a restart off to our right-hand side and a free kick for Alex Palmer. 86 minutes gone in this one. This is nerve-jangling. This is painful. This is drawn out. But what is going to be the ultimate decision? It's obviously far from straightforward. Looking at it, I agree with Mick. The angle that we've kind of got on the screen, which isn't ideal, would suggest to me that Strand Larsen, aside from his hand, which is irrelevant, the rest of him is the correct side of the line as far as Wolves were concerned. But again, it's Kieran McKenna's bugbear, and actually, as I say that, he's looking at his watch, the time that this has taken. But it is a massive decision, and it is marginal, and it's a goal. Yellow card for Strand Larsen for something he said. That's a little bit daft of him, but he has, as things stand, got the winning goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers, which just about secures their Premier League status. Aït-Nouri is coming off. Of course, there are 7 games to go after this, but there is no way Ipswich Town are coming back from 12 points. 13 when you look at goal difference adrift. This is it, really. The nail has taken another hefty belt from a hammer into the coffin with this scoreline, unless... But even 2-2 from a 1-0 lead for so long, 2-2, it's still not that clever. Not good enough, really. 2-1 certainly isn't. That's where we're at. Final 2.5 minutes. Hit forward by O'Shea. Nodded away from the back. by Agbadou. All hands on deck for Wolves off to our left. Town will certainly have a good old go. And it is these 11 players out there that have got to do the job. Leif Davis trying to get as long a run up as possible on this throw. Final 2 minutes of normal time. Long throw into the Wolves area. Headed down, might be a chance for Burgess up there. Comes to Philogene inside the area. Tries to find room. There's none of that. Turns, gets a shot away, but cleared away by Agbadou. Out as far as Johnson. Johnson zips it forward off his left boot. Cleared away by Totti. Then taken on the chest by Andre. Town win it back. Philogene goes down, then plays it forward. João Gomez is on the ball. Free kick given for the challenge on Philogene. 90 seconds of normal time to play. Remember Town's next 3 games: Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle. Very, very difficult run of fixtures for Ipswich on the horizon. Wolves still have Leicester to play at home. They've still got Tottenham to go to Molineux. Brentford, I think, is their last game at the end of May. There's some points to be garnered from those games, sadly. Over this free kick is Julio Enciso. Good 36 yards out, right of centre. Town have got plenty players forward. I wonder if they might just keep Cameron Burgess up as an extra striker, an extra body for most of this game. Might as well do something a little bit left field. Free kick to Ipswich. Davis, the substitute, is on it. This could be a chance for Ipswich. And it comes to the Wolves area. Good looking ball, headed away though by Munetsi. Out as far as Enciso. Burgess has stayed up there, so too O'Shea. Enciso trying to create, goes down. Referee says free kick. He was fouled. Yellow card for Semedo, who mustn't have got one in the first half. I marked him down for one when he stood next to Andre. It was obviously Andre that got one in the first half. So otherwise he'd obviously be off now. 7 minutes of added on time. Score from this free kick and it might just happen.
He's given the free kick against Ipswich.
Is that a dive from Enciso there?
Yeah.
I was quietly confident I'd got it right with it, Semedo in the first half, so it was him with a yellow card, and now Enciso. That's poor to see from him. Well, that lessens their chance of getting something. Had that been a Town free kick with 7 minutes to go outside the Wolves box, you never know, but I don't want to hear all the noise now coming from the West Midlanders. Huge win this for them, especially they were 1-0 down for so long. Well, a point would have been a good result. Davis to Taylor. So his former chairman Darren McAntony saying in the week that Town will win the championship by 20 points next season. Darren McAntony very confident of Ipswich bouncing straight back up. Rodrigo Gomez to João Gomez, might come back to João Gomez inside the area. Rodrigo Gomez to Munetsi. Wolves have the ball deep inside the Ipswich Town half of the field. Town aren't going to complete their first double of the season. On the far side, Wolves have it with Sarabia. He got the ball rolling with the equaliser. It's had an impact. Back it goes to Andre. Touch to Sarabia. Wolves passing it around inside the Ipswich Town half. Lots of players out there, an old goal comfortable on the ball. Almost 2 minutes into the added on 7. Wolves have a man down in a lot of pain at Sarabia on the halfway line, wasting a little bit of time.
I think Sam Morse has put him down.
He doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone in blue out there. He's back up on his feet. Sarabia. Yeah, now 2 minutes gone of the added on 7. Wolves out to the left hand side. Rodrigo Gomez comes off the heels of Munetsi, scooped up and away by O'Shea. Hurst brings it down on his right thigh. He goes to the far touchline, then goes down. He's clearly tripped from behind. Free kick which Hurst leaves for Johnson, the right back, to take. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come on match day after this one. A few Town fans leaving early on the far side, not too many round about us. Morsey knocks the ball wide to the left hand side. Hurst goes down in the box, but it was O'Shea actually who's gone down, but the foul was by him, says the referee, on Munetsi. Still pleading his innocence, the Irishman. Free kick there to Wolves.
Deliberate body charge, deliberate block. So he's guilty.
This is a tough one, this. Ipswich Town losing to Wolves, the result which was unthinkable. 12 points from Premier League safety. Once again, for the second year in a row, the three teams that came up are going to go straight back down. Very, very hard to survive in the Premier League. Sarr, right-footed, clears into the Ipswich half. Burgess heads it up to the halfway line. Up goes Chaplin, beaten by Monetzi. Andre's on the ball on the centre spot, tries to get away from Morsey. Gives it away under pressure, does Andre. Miscontrolled there by Philogene. Rodrigo Gomez has left Philogene in his wake. Gomez comes forward, edge of the Ipswich area, inside the box, gives it to João Gomez, might come to Strand Larsen. Chance for João Gomez to finish it off. The ball's inside the Ipswich Town area, doesn't sit down for João Gomez, cleared away by Jack Taylor. That was a little bit scruffy and worrying as far as Town were concerned. Andre rolls away from Philogene. Gomez has got the ball. Now it's with Gomez once again. Back the ball goes to the halfway line via Totti to Agbadou. It's another win, a 7th win for Vitor Pereira since taking over at Wolves. What a job he's done since December. 23 points he'll have gathered in that time, more than Ipswich Town have got all season. It's a good appointment. Was interviewed for the Everton job a little while ago, Vitor Pereira. But he's guided Wolves to almost certain Premier League safety. Jigger about to come on for Wolves. Philogene just looks off the pace. Doesn't look right out there, Philogene. Wolves have it with João Gomez. Back it goes to Rodrigo Gomez. João Gomez has gone down off the ball. Play continues up towards Strand Larsen. What an impact he's had in the absence of Cunha. Strand Larsen. Burgess to Enciso. 5 minutes gone in the added on 7. Chaplin with a header on towards Taylor in an attacking position. João Gomez comes away with the ball, gives it to Strand Larsen. He's chopped down by Morsey. Wasn't the best of challenges by Sam Morsey. And Wolves have got a couple of players down who might require a little bit of treatment. Or at least they'd like some to waste some time. Strand Larsen is going off to be replaced by Nasser Jigger, who's a defender from Burkina Faso. Fair enough, understand exactly what Wolves are doing. Lots of Ipswich Town fans disappearing, giving up on a great escape this afternoon. And look at the wider picture, the great escape is kind of dying in front of us as well. At the back, Wolves have this free kick with Agbadou. Approaching the final minute of the added on 7, although probably go beyond that. Kieran McKenna, a penny for his thoughts, just looking on below us, arms folded. And we get those thoughts on air hopefully in the next hour. Agbadou blasts the ball forward. Johnson heads it away from right back, brought down by Sarabia. João Gomez up against Philogene. João Gomez puts it through the legs of Chaplin. Chaplin gets back on the ball, but it's a foul by him because João Gomez is down. Wolves wasting a bit of time on the far side of the field.
Gomez has been so influential in this game.
He's a good player.
I mean, he was really playing right of the two central players, and where he did get that little bit of a knock, I assume it just didn't do him much favours, and they, rather than take him off, they just shoved him over slightly more to the left-hand side, knowing that if he can just find himself a little bit of room, he'll control the game, and he's been doing that.
That's it for the added on 7 minutes. According to my stopwatch, play will continue though with a Wolves free kick on the far side. Sarabia to take it. Sarabia plays it forward left-footed towards Rodrigo Gomez, defended by Johnson. O'Shea pushes it square to right back in Philogene. He gives it to Morsey, back into the box to O'Shea. O'Shea curls the ball to the left-hand side and Davis. If Davis on this near side for Ipswich Town. The referee has his whistle in his mouth. It's the Wolves fans that want it, obviously. Back it goes to Palmer. Palmer goes short to O'Shea, just has enough on it. O'Shea out to Johnson. Play continues. Johnson goes long towards Hurst, battling with Bueno. Free kick against Hurst for offside. And That will surely just about be that. There's a TV camera on a rather solemn Kieran McKenna down below us. He knows how damaging this result is. Not quite fatal, of course, still 7 games to go, but near enough, damn it. There is the full-time whistle, and sadly it's the Wolves fans who celebrate. Ipswich Town edge closer to the Premier League trapdoor. Their grip on the top flight is loosening. It's going to be a one-season special, sadly, for Ipswich Town at the moment. With just 7 games to go, this defeat means they are 12 points adrift of safety. The nail isn't fully into the coffin. It's been hammered in by an extra centimetre here this afternoon.
I do firmly believe that the best team have won in the end, and possibly, you know, even if you don't talk about today's match, I always, whenever, I haven't seen an awful lot of Wolves, but whenever I've caught the chance to see them, I've seen a very talented team, strong team, an athletic team, and a team that, if they need to, they can take the game to the opposition. They can dominate a game when they need to. So I think they're in a false position. I really do. I think they're a team that have got off to a bad start, and it's been really, really difficult. Maybe took a managerial change to change their fortunes, you know. But they're in a run at the moment that possibly reflects the standard of the team. You know, the goalkeeper's decent, the back 3 are good, the wing backs are good, the central midfield 2 are excellent, and their very best player is being suspended for 4 games, you know. So we've lost to them, but, you know, I think that they are a good side, and they probably in the end will deserve to stay up. But you know, we set about the game well. We did a valiant job at Bournemouth. We set the opportunity up, we set the day up, we started really well, we come out of the traps like nobody's business. I mean, wonderful how we came out of the traps at the start of the game. And we eventually then had to see off a little spell of Wolverhampton, but then we get ourselves in front, and to be perfectly honest, the script was good up to half-time. You know, there was every possibility that we could beat a very good Wolverhampton team today, and really sort of make it difficult, make it very nervous for Wolverhampton, that's for sure. But that second half performance by Wolves is what I've personally seen from them this season. I've seen a very capable team, you know, a team that...
So how damaging is this, in short, Mick? Is this that's pretty much it, isn't it? Let's be realistic. And I know Kieran will say all the things you'd expect him to say, and I'm really feeling sorry for him out there, and he's very much on his own with his thoughts, and he'll talk about 21 points to play for, and of course they'll go out there, they'll show spirit, they'll show the right attitude and try to win as many games as possible. But the external news is, the external noise, should I say, is correct. That's it, isn't it now? They're not going to turn this around.
I think we've dropped too far behind. We've seen teams disappear from us. You know, it started with Everton and Crystal Palace. They all of a sudden found some form, actually started to play at a level that they were capable of, and they disappeared from the relegation scene very, very quickly, and then left it 3 from 4, which is a very nervous situation, and that was some time ago. And then Wolves have got themselves started, as I say, by maybe a managerial change, but they have got talented players, there's no question about it. And we now, my only hope was that we would stay within less than 12 points of Wolverhampton come May, because I'd always clinging to the hope that group of 4 fixtures in May would somehow do us a favour and just might put a bit of pressure on Wolverhampton. But I don't think we're going to get there now. I really don't. I think that the 3 games we've got coming up, surely, I don't even know what Wolves have got, but surely they can't have 3 harder games than what we've got. We've got Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away. You know, it's a formidable lineup. That means probably we will now get to May with not enough points to do it. And I think Wolves, you have to look at Wolves. I mean, we look at our own situation, you wonder how many points we can get. Well, this Wolverhampton team look capable of maybe getting sort of an average of 1.5 points a game. You know, they're well capable of that, and if they do that, well, they're gonna keep driving on and go a long way from us. So, you know, it's pretty much the end now.
Yeah, it is, because Wolves on 32 points now with that. They've got Leicester at home. You'd imagine that becomes 35. Town are on 20. They're going to win 5 games at the remaining 7. Sadly, just about it, isn't it? I mean, we had Fabio Wardley here earlier on this afternoon. It's not quite a knockout blow for Ipswich Town, but near as damn it. This 2-1 defeat here to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Kieran McKenna's thoughts are on the way.